Born with a pair of hooked Jade Rinnegan. Chapter 71. Somewhere, Orochimaru looked at the lights in the house. There are children who Gaiwu-kun cares about very much. The sharp tongue swirled around the lips, but Orochimaru didn't move. If he really treated Gaiwu as an ordinary child, he would not know how he died. If you really believe that Gaiwu only has the ability to attract enemies, you will feel nothing at all when you are killed by him. The experiment has reached the most critical time, and there should be no mistakes at this time. Let go of you first. After my experiment is completed, I will capture you and fish Gaiwu out. Just one Minato, how can I vent my anger? You two must be done together to vent the anger in my heart. Especially Yeba Gaiwu. You have been pretending to be a tiger in front of me for so long, I should let you know what the legendary Sanin's wrath is. Without touching the children in the house, Orochimaru swam slowly, looking for those who were easy to prey on. One night, 8 children were abducted without anyone noticing. After the incident, all kinds of crying and screaming caused Konoha to have another sleepless night. The ninjas searched with all their strength, but did not find any clues. Minato rushed to the Hokage building as soon as he got the news. Gazing coldly at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was sitting on Hokage's seat, 3rd generation. You know who took those children away. You know where he is. For the sake of the child, please tell me where he is. Even honorifics are useless, which shows how angry Minato is at this time. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared coldly at Namikaze Minato. I was very upset with his 4th Hokage, but he and Orochimaru pissed me off again during the day. I'm not in the mood at this moment. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at him. I have entrusted the investigation of the case to you. This kind of thing happened again in the village, it's your responsibility, it has nothing to do with me. All this is caused by your unfavorable handling of affairs. Minato stared blankly at Sarutobi Hiruzen, never imagined that he would say such a thing at this moment. This is the Hokage I admired the most. This is the person who is in danger of the whole Konoha. Others entrust their lives in his hands, and entrust their safety issues in his hands with confidence. When something like this happened, his first thought was not to pursue the murderer, but to shirk responsibility. Is this Konoha's current Hokage? Is this the status quo of Konoha? Why did it become like this? The original intention of first Hokage to establish Ninja Village was to prevent children from going to the battlefield. Now, children have become victims of power struggles. This turned out to be my dream. This turned out to be what I had pursued for so many years. The goal that has been set up after so many years of struggle. Namikaze Minato slowly took off the Hokage cloak on his body, and threw it in front of 3rd generation. As you wish, I remove the Hokage position. From now on, Konoha is your Konoha and has nothing to do with me. From now on, I will fight for myself and for Konoha's children. Fight for the will of Lord First Hokage to stay. Never fight for your Hokage again. 3rd generation got up in anger and growled, Namikaze Minato. You still have time to put away what you just said. If you insist on going your own way, the consequences will be beyond your imagination. HMPH. Minato snorted coldly. Scorning Sarutobi Hiruzen, he said coldly, you want to threaten me with 9 tails Jinchuriki. You should know that I added the seal of Flying Thunder God to the seal, so I can reach Kushina anytime I want. The voice suddenly became heavier. I can definitely be 1 step faster than you. You can let it go and see if you are faster or I am faster. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned. He never thought that Namikaze Minato would speak so decisively. There is no room for reversal at all. His own resignation from Hokage represents a painstakingly planned abdication, making Yun a joke. Things that don't give up power will also be torn off the last fig leaf. I will become the biggest joke in ninja history. This cannot be allowed to happen. After working hard for most of my life, I absolutely can't let this kind of thing happen. Namikaze Minato must be left in the Hokage position by any means. Namikaze Minato, don't forget the child you brought back. You treat him as a family member, but you brought him back from the battlefield, and I can make him a spy of another country with 1 word. Hey, Minato was annoyed, completely angry. What I hate the most in my life is when others threaten him with family members. This is the only incident in his life that is his backlash. You can just let it go. As long as you dare to do it, don't blame me for being rude. My counterattack is not something you can bear. Sarutobi Hiruzen. A piece of advice to you, be cautious in your words and deeds. If you can't do it, don't threaten others. After finishing the words, he walked out of the Hokage building without looking back. When I got downstairs, looking at the building standing behind me, I felt mixed feelings. In the end, it turned into a sigh, and left the Hokage building without looking back. From now on, everything here has nothing to do with Namikaze Minato. Staring blankly at the back of Namikaze Minato going away, Sarutobi Hiruzen sat back on the chair with a decadent expression. And so he goes. I have worked so hard to manage for so long, but in the end, I ended up fetching water from a bamboo basket in 10 games. Everything becomes meaningless. I will become the biggest joke in ninja history. Don't let this happen. This must not be allowed to happen. Muttering in his mouth, Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly thought of a solution. I must get more support, and I must have the support of several people with greater prestige than Namikaze Minato. In order to stabilize Hokage's position, in order not to lose everything I have now, I must gain the support of more people. For the first time in his life, Sarutobi Hiruzen bowed his head to Shimura Danzo. In order to get the absolute support of Shimura Danzo, a series of great prices were paid. Namikaze Minato, who left the Hokage building, rushed to Fan Xing, who existed within a 10-mile radius of the other party, to conduct a carpet search overnight. Especially in places where there are many snakes, even a centimeter will not be spared. And the other side, Yeba Gaiwu stopped practicing and looked at the ninjas coming and going outside. Although I know the general outline of the matter, I don't know how far it has developed. Because of the matter between the unintentional ninjas, they lost contact with an information plane. Also because of his own arrival, a series of things happened to Konoha beyond the original book. For example, Shisui's death came earlier than the original. The events of Orochimaru have also changed a lot. Kakashi. Gaiwu yelled softly. Although Jugoyu Rinnegan was not used, Gaiwu knew that such a big thing had happened and Kakashi would definitely not be able to sleep. Minato is not at home, he will definitely be around the house to protect himself and Kushina. A head hangs down from the roof, with gray hair and a mask covering most of the face. Who could it be if not Kakashi? Gaiwu. Kakashi looked at Gaiwu with puzzled eyes. Calling himself at this time, does he want to know the progress of the incident? He wants to get involved with the ninjas. It shouldn't be. Where did Minato-san go? Gaiwu asked softly. He has no interest in the things between ninjas, only Minato can interest him. Kakashi closed his eyes and felt for a while, making sure that Kushina was asleep and would not be woken up, and stretched out his right hand towards Gaiwu. Grabbed Kakashi's right hand, and was pushed by him, and easily went up to the roof. The teacher went to look for traces of the enemy, and having said that, Kakashi stopped. With Sharingan's ability, the night does not affect his vision. Saw earlier that Minato's Hokage cape is missing. It is absolutely impossible for Namikaze Minato to lose such an important thing. That is to say, he threw away the Hokage cloak himself. In other words, Namikaze Minato has stepped down as 4th Hokage. Is it all right? And what? Gaiwu asked suspiciously. Kakashi thought for a while, then said in a deep voice, Sensei's Hokage cloak is gone. Gaiwu exclaimed. He knew exactly what kind of person Namikaze Minato was. There's no way someone like him would lose the Hokage cape. The Hokage cloak is missing, and there is only one reason for this. He resigned. Since the history of Ninja Village, the first person to step down from the position of shadow, he can definitely be recorded in history. Although his Hokage was not happy, it was his childhood dream after all. Is it just lost? This is not Namikaze Minato's style. Something must have happened to make Namikaze Minato so angry that he would do such a thing. And the instigator of all this is definitely Sarutobi Hiruzen. Only he can do that kind of thing. No one can make Namikaze Minato angry to such an extent anymore. Connect all recent events. Gaiwu already had a bottom line in his heart. The general ins and outs of the matter have been analyzed clearly. The current Namikaze Minato is very dangerous. Take the character of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Namikaze Minato's resignation as Hokage hit him hardest. That is to say, Sarutobi Hiruzen will step in when Namikaze Minato and Orochimaru are at the crux of the fight. In order to protect himself, Orochimaru cannot have any accidents. And Namikaze Minato, who took Hokage's place, had to die. Only the Hokage who died in battle. There must be no outgoing Hokage. In the eyes of those in power, there are no such things as family and friendship. Everything is done to hold power tighter. This is most evident in Sarutobi Hiruzen. No one is more shameless than him. Dare to claim to be the strongest Hokage. His shamelessness has refreshed Gaiwu's understanding of shamelessness. It's not a good thing to say. Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama, both of them can crush Sarutobi Hiruzen to death by plucking a leg hair. He can claim that he is the most powerful Hokage of all time. This level of shamelessness is absolutely unprecedented. He didn't even want his face in order to stabilize his position. Would he care about other things? What was the death of Namikaze Minato to him? Fourth Hokage died gloriously while besieging the Rinnegan. As third Hokage, in the absence of a suitable successor, continue to succeed Hokage. Everything is perfect. The rights that belong to him will return to his hands. No one knows what he did. As long as there is no telling, everything will develop in the direction Sarutobi Hiruzen wants. Gaiwu's eyes became colder than ever before. Namikaze Minato is absolutely undeable. This was determined a long time ago. So, whether these things are my own conjectures, or something that Sarutobi Hiruzen is planning, Gaiwu would never watch it happen. Both eyes become Jugoyu Rinnegan state. A temporal and spatial imprint is left on Kakashi. The current chakra is still unable to open Wonkwan Hirazaka in any corner of the world like Otsutsuki Kagaya. With this time-space imprint on Kakashi, you can use this time-space imprint to open Wonkwan Hirazaka beside him. It can save lives in critical moments. Gaiwu. Kakashi looked at Gaiwu suspiciously. There are so many ninjas out there at this time. He is now using the 9 Guyu Rinnegan. Isn't he afraid of being known? Gaiwu explained softly. Go find Minato-san and follow him. I have left a time-space imprint on you. At the critical moment, I can open Wonkwan Bilyangjaka and bring you and Minato back. Understood. Kakashi didn't hesitate. He jumped off the roof and ran towards the distance. It is not difficult to find Namikaze Minato with his contract summoning beast. What's more, Kakashi's own sense of smell is not bad. Track. For Kakashi, who has the power of elite Jonin, it couldn't be easier. Unfortunately, while Sharingan brings him powerful combat power, it also limits his chakra. Not being of Uchiha blood, Sharingan will consume his chakra all the time, so that he often lacks mana during the fight. Glancing at Kushina in the inner room, in the state of Jugoyu Rinnegan, he saw that Kushina was not really asleep. She knows everything that happened outside. She knows everything. But he didn't come out, buried all his worries in his heart, and didn't add any trouble to the Cade family. A woman like her can do it during pregnancy. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, Gaiwu would not have believed that there would be such a good woman in the world. In order not to cause trouble to the family, she bears everything alone. As a Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, she is a great security risk. She is a very caring person herself. But she took care of the feelings of everyone in the family. What happened in the village, she never made any demands on Namikaze Minato, nor did she make any demands on her family members. She endured everything silently. This is the woman in the world of Hokage. Although she didn't do anything, she was more touching than doing thousands of things. Understand. What men need most is the understanding of such a woman. Alas, Gaiwu sighed while looking out the window. The young couple Minato and Kushina are really envious of others. I don't know if I can meet such a woman in my life. Thinking of this, Gaiwu couldn't help laughing out loud. My body is only 5 years old, and I am still too early to get married. In the future, there will be plenty of time to look for things slowly, and it is meaningless to think about these things now. There are many good women in the Hokage world. The next day, Gaiwu opened for business as usual. Kushina has nothing to worry about at home alone. She is Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. No matter how confused Sarutobi Hiruzen is, no matter how insignificant, her safety must be guaranteed. Once she has any problems, Konoha will be in chaos. I don't know how many ninjas were sent to protect her. Whatever happens to these forces, Sarutobi Hiruzen will not move. There were no disturbances in the day's operation, and the business of the small shop was as booming as ever. As usual, close the door and go home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On the way, an Anbu ninja with a mask appeared in front of him. Itachi slowly took off his mask, and said apologetically, "Mr. Gaiwu. I'm bothering you. I know that at this time, you definitely don't have the heart to deal with my affairs, but the problem is." Gaiwu was stunned, and said embarrassedly, "I'm really sorry, too many things happen these days, I forgot to get you a special snack. When the current matter is over, I will make a special snack for you with my heart. For the time being, I'm also a little bit unclear, leaving the production will only bring you more troubles." Itachi put on a mask and bowed to thank him. "Thank you very much." Konoha's current situation made him feel like a storm was coming. But he has only determined which position he is in and what to do specifically, and he still has no idea. Gaiwu, who guided him on this road, is his guiding light, and he believes in Gaiwu's words. If you can get Gaiwu's guidance again, whether it is used as a reference or followed, it is stronger than the decision made by the person in Uzumaki. Gaiwu is a person outside of Uzumaki, and he sees things more objectively than himself, a person in Uzumaki. The most important is, the strength of his heart is convincing. It was a power that even Shisui feared. Looking at Itachi's back, Gaiwu walked slowly, simulating several changes in his mind after this incident. However, for Uchiha's future, Gaiwu still doesn't have an absolute decision in mind. After thinking for a while, unable to think of a better way, Gaiwu sighed. All will be good. When things come, there is always a solution. If it's a big deal, let him go according to the original plan. It's a pity. In that case, the Uchiha clan will reach a place beyond my reach, and it will be difficult to use their power to serve myself. Namikaze Minato leaving Hokage is a foregone conclusion, impossible to change. The Uchiha family still has a lot of use value, so let Uchiha Itachi take some of them away from Konoha. I always feel a little reconciled. Although he has never been interested in the affairs of the ninja world, as a time traveler, he can clearly dominate all of this. But I don't get any benefits, I always feel uncomfortable. Hehe. This is caused by the superiority of the time traveler. What does Uchiha have to do with me? Trying all these things, I just don't want to see Uchiha Itachi massacre the family. What does the rest have to do with me? Forget it. I'm too lazy to think about it so much. The most important thing is to manage your own small shop well. Slowly back home, Kushina is sitting on the sofa, watching TV programs bored. Neither Namikaze Minato nor Kakashi came home, both of them are still looking for the big hidden base. Gaiwu, come and rest. Kushina waved to Gaiwu. It would be a lie to say that a person who spends a day at home alone is not boring. Especially recently, I have gotten used to Minato being idle at home, and he suddenly went out to fight because of his own will. As his woman, how could she not worry about him? Now Minato is representing himself, and no one will help him except these people in his family. Kushina's worries are even heavier. Sitting next to Kushina, seeing her expression, Gaiwu sighed softly. My ability may not be able to help much, but I will definitely try my best, and I don't want to see accidents with Kakashi and Minato. Kushina smiled slightly. Your words are enough. Others don't know about your ability, but I still know a little bit. Gaiwu shrugged helplessly. The perception ability of the Uzumaki clan is so unreasonable. In Konoha village, there is nothing that Kushina wants to perceive but cannot perceive. She can't see her pair of 9-hook Jade Rinnegan, but she perceives many things. It's not that she wants to monitor herself, it's just that she is too boring to be alone at home, and she always needs to find something to do. Kushina has no interest in other people at all, and when she is bored, she senses the ghosts busy in the store. He felt everything about taking condiments in the air. Such a Gaiwu, how strong his ability is, there is no way to imagine. A man who can trust Minato's safety in his hands. Because he is very reassuring. I'm also part of the family, why would I want to see an accident with Kakashi and Minato-san? Kakashi bears the imprint of time and space left by me. When they have the ability to face everything, I will not take action. Once an accident occurs, I will take them away as soon as possible. Namikaze Minato has lost the Hokage cape and also stepped down as Hokage. About my ability, I can tell Kushina something. She is a very smart woman, she knows what she can and cannot say. Time and space imprint, Kushina laughed. As long as it is related to the ability of time and space, it is a very powerful ability. Just like Minato's Flying Thunder God technique, no one can crack his space-time ninjutsu. And Gaiwu's time and space ability will be the same as Minato's, no one can crack it. This time, Kushina was completely relieved. Lying on the sofa, the worry on her face had completely disappeared. With Minato's Flying Thunder God, coupled with Gaiwu's time and space ability, it is impossible for Kakashi and Minato to come up with accidents. Gently stroking her growing belly, Kushina had a happy smile on her face. Naruto will be born soon. Namikaze Minato also offloaded the Hokage position. The whole family has left the ninja center and can live the life they want. No one can make Minato leave him anymore. After going through these things, it is believed that Minato has completely lost interest in Konoha's powers. The family is happy and can do whatever they want. What day could be happier than a day like this? Seeing the happy smile on Kushina's face and feeling the joy of her soon-to-be mother. An inexplicable feeling filled my heart. Very warm. Very comfortable. This feeling gradually filled the whole body. The eyes also gradually changed due to this sensation. Suddenly, Gaiwu understood. My Rinnegan unique ability has been awakened. This ability, life, ability related to life. Although the function of this ability is not yet known, Gaiwu knows that it is impossible for anyone to kill in front of him. Mastering the power of life, facing any situation, it is impossible for others to want to die. Jugouyu Rinnegan is really extraordinary. As long as you have enough chakra for yourself, everything will be very easy. In the state of Jugouyu Rinnegan, life energy diffuses out. Kushina was wrapped in life energy and fell into a deep sleep. Her body is completely healed from some of the damage caused by the Nine Tails chakra. Life energy is purified. The effect is that the blood power becomes stronger. The blood successors belonging to the Uzumaki clan have also become stronger. All this is unknown to Kushina. Sealed space. Nine Tails' eyes widened sharply. This feeling, life energy, how can there be such a powerful life energy? I have worked so hard to change Kushina's physique for so many years, but it has completely failed because of this life energy. In the original book, Nine Tails tried to use Nine Tails chakra to change Naruto's body so that he could escape from the seal. Nine Tails. A figure appeared in the sealed space. Gaiwu stared at Nine Tails behind the ceiling fence. Facing this strongest tailed beast at this stage, his expression was calm, and there was no abnormality in his eyes. The person who suddenly appeared in the sealed space put Nine Tails on alert. Not surprisingly, the life energy enveloping Kushina's body is related to the person in front of him. Taking a closer look, Nine Tails trembled in shock. Rinnegan, how do you have a Rinnegan that only Sage of Six Paths has? Gaiwu shook his head slightly, and said seriously, to be precise, I am Jugouyu Rinnegan. More advanced than the Sage of Six Paths Rinnegan without the Jade. Nine Tails wanted to scold loudly, but found that he had absolutely no reason to refute. Even his peculiar life energy is not possessed by Sage of Six Paths. In addition, I felt the suppression of pupil power once before. At that time, it was very obvious that his pupil power was stronger than Sage of Six Paths. In other words, Gaiwu didn't lie. His eyes are indeed stronger than those of Sage of Six Paths. What do you want? Nine Tails stared at Gaiwu and shouted in a deep voice. Gaiwu shrugged. I don't want to do anything, as long as you are honest and don't cause trouble for Kushina. Don't tell her about me, you can stay in the seal with peace of mind. Otherwise, after that, Gaiwu didn't say any more, and retreated from the sealed space. Nine Tails is a smart-tailed beast and he's sure to understand his own threats. He also knows how powerful Rinnegan is. Nine Tails stood in the sealed space, staring at the place where Gaiwu was standing just now. The life energy filling Kushina's body is still wanton. All the remaining chakra in Kushina, and the changes made to her body, are recovering quickly. 10 years of hard work was ruined by this 5-year-old boy. He was also threatened face to face. As the strongest tailed beast, Nine Tails felt a great shame. But there is no way. That's Rinnegan, since ninja history. Nine Tails has the strongest eyes ever since birth. Well, Can't do anything to Kushina for now. As the strongest tailed beast, Nine Tails also has things that he dare not challenge. Rinnegan is one of them. Locked up by the Rinnegan's powers, that's truly never-ending. In this sealing technique of Minato, it is also possible to know what is happening outside through Kushina's eyes. But Rinnegan's ability can make Nine Tails not feel any external situation. Everything in Jinchuriki is out of reach. That is true eternal darkness. Even Nine Tails, who has been locked in the seal for a long time, doesn't want to face such a situation. Chakra exited the seal, examining Kushina's body carefully. The life energy released by Rinnegan made her bloodline boundary stronger and her abilities stronger. Everything in the body is restored to its most perfect state. The little Naruto in her stomach is also affected by the life energy. He is originally of Uzumaki blood, and his vitality will become stronger. In the original book he didn't inherit anything from Uzumaki Kushina. After this incident, he will definitely have the blood succession limit of the Uzumaki clan. Kushina is still in a deep sleep and won't wake up for a while. Go to the kitchen and get dinner ready. Even the portion of Kakashi and Minato is ready. As for whether they will come back to eat, Gaiwu doesn't bother to care. Thinking of Kakashi, Gaiwu frowned and thought. Rinnegan's unique ability. Gao Tianyuan. Gao Tianyuan is the origin of gods in the mythology system of the ninja world. The ability to control life is too strong. It is not an exaggeration to name it Gao Tianyuan. Purifying life energy is just a change in controlling life. Gao Tianyuan still has many mysteries waiting to be discovered by himself. Purifying the life energy can make the blood succession boundary stronger. If this ability is used on Kakashi, will it change his physique and make him more suitable for Sharingan? Recalling the changes in Kushina just now, Gaiwu felt that this matter has great potential. Maybe, after his own changes, Kakashi's 50-50 nickname will be taken off by himself. How strong is Kakashi who can use Kamui freely? This is something completely unimaginable. Well worth a try. Outside Konoha village. It is less than 3 kilometers away from Konoha, tens of meters underground. A teenager lying on the test bench slowly opened his eyes. Vertical pupil. His body was changing rapidly, and he became an adult in just a few tens of seconds. Orochimaru carefully observed all the conditions of the body. The data displayed on the instrument is not ignored. After careful observation for a while, it was determined that all the data were from his previous budget. A smile appeared on his face, and Orochimaru growled excitedly. Success! My living corpse reincarnation has finally succeeded. From now on, I will no longer be restricted by life and death. I am immortal, truly immortal, and no one can kill me. After cheering excitedly, Orochimaru immediately thought of what happened during the experiment. Yeba Gaiwu, Namikaze Minato. My experiment was successful, and it's time for me to take revenge on you. 523, flickered, swam out of the base, and soon went outside. Look at the direction of Konoha, and think back to the location I wrote down in Konoha last time. If you kidnap that girl, you will definitely be able to get Yeba Gaiwu out. The experiment has been completed, and there is no need for a living body. As long as Yeba Gaiwu can be lured out, it will be fine. Killing him, venting the anger in my heart, everything is perfect. When night falls, the ninja's surveillance reaches its peak. Orochimaru sneered, his lower body turned into a snake, and swam towards the village. Konoha has been here for so many years, and the way Konoha perceives and how to search for enemies is well known to snakes. After so many years of ninjutsu research, deciphering those perception methods is easier than eating and drinking. Entered the village without alarming any of the sentient ninjas. Finding the place where the target was, Orochimaru swam in and took the identified target away. It's just an ordinary person, take it away, Sarutobi Hiruzen will never care. All Orochimaru needed was someone to care. When Orochimaru left Konoha village with the calamus in his arms, Gaiwu suddenly opened his eyes. There was a stern look in his eyes. Fortunately, I was prepared and put a time and space imprint on calamus. Set up a few time and space imprints on the Konoha fence, and the two-phase effect will trigger the alarm of Jugoyu Rinnegan. If I didn't set up these things, I wouldn't even know that little calamus was taken away. Just open Wonkwan Bilyangsaka in your own room, and communicate with the time and space imprint on a chorus. Orochimaru, who was several hundred meters away from the Konoha fence, sensed a strange feeling around him. Hurriedly holding the calamus and retreating a little further away. One of Gaiwu's hands stretched out from the time and space, and he scooped around, but when he didn't catch the calamus, he took it back. The opened underworld, Birasaka, was also closed. Orochimaru stared at the slowly closing time and space, frowning tightly. Time and space ability. That's a very troublesome ability. Yeba Gaiwu, sure enough, you are hiding abilities that I don't know about. I'm getting more and more curious about you. Compared to Uchiha's body, maybe your body can be the target of my next body change. At the same time, Gaiwu also knew the situation on the scene, and muttered softly, as expected of Orochimaru, he has such a quick response. Then, this time I need to speed up. Taking a deep breath, Chakra focused his eyes heavily. Underworld Hirasaka opens. The speed is dozens of times faster than before. Orochimaru also felt abnormalities around his body. The speed of time and space opening this time is much faster than last time. Orochimaru stared at time and space intently. The speed is too fast, and it is too late to escape the envelope of time and space. Holding the calamus in the left hand, the right hand turns into a lion majesty, ready to attack at any time. I thought to myself, sure enough. He played tricks on this little girl. Gaiwu in Minato's house also knew that Orochimaru could not escape the envelope of time and space, so he would definitely attack him. Chakra is running at full capacity, and Jugoyu Rinnegan's ability has been brought to ultimate. The right hand suddenly stretched into time and space. It's this time. Sensing the fluctuation of time and space, Orochimaru let out a soft drink, and the lion majesty transformed into the right hand bites towards time and space. Shinluo Tianjiang. Gaiwu, who was already prepared, released a small area of Shinluo Tianjiang the moment he stretched out his right hand. 1/3 of the chakra in the body brewed this blow, and Orochimaru's lion majesty hit the repulsive force, immediately turning into blood mist. Jugoyu Rinnegan's pupil power reaches ultimate, kills the lion majesty released by Orochimaru, and the power of Shinluo Tianjiang disappears. If you don't control the power of Shinluo Tianjiang, you will definitely hurt calamus, which is why chakra consumes a lot. Feel the location of the imprint of time and space, and grab the calamus. Sealing technique absorption. Rinnegan's basic ability. Absorb chakra. If you use brute force to grab it, you will definitely not be able to grab Orochimaru's. His chakra is much stronger than himself, and his physical ability is also much stronger than himself. Trying to snatch the iris from Orochimaru by brute force, that's impossible. While calamus has almost no chakra, sealing sigil has no meaning to her. The seal absorbs the chakra of Orochimaru. Orochimaru is now holding on to the calamus and has no problem absorbing his chakra through the calamus. Jugoyu Rinnegan's abilities are different from ordinary Rinnegans. Things that pain can't do are as easy as eating and drinking for Gaiwu. Feeling chakra disappearing quickly, Yinji was too shocked to speak. I already overestimated Gaiwu's ability, but I still underestimated him. What the hell is going on with these abilities of his? Know that Gaiwu absorbs his own chakra through the medium of calamus. Although Orochimaru was reluctant, he had to let go. If this continues, all his chakra will be sucked away by him. Seeing that the calamus in hand was captured by Gaiwu back to time and space. The dark space-time channel quickly closed. No matter how unwilling he is, Orochimaru knows he can't do anything to Gaiwu. The ability of time and space is unpredictable. There is also a strange ability that cannot be explained clearly, which makes people hard to guard against. A sharp tongue circled around his lips. Orochimaru stared in the direction of Minato's home in the village. Yeba Gaiwu, I put away my previous evaluation of you. You are not a fox pretending to be a tiger. You have a unique ability. Facing you like this, apart from fighting a war of attrition, all abilities become meaningless. When you grow up and have more chakra, I won't be your opponent, and I don't even have the qualification to stand opposite you. What is it that makes you have the ability to compete with me at such a young age with only a little chakra? I'm getting more and more interested in you. Minato's house. Gaiwu, who snatched the calamus back, took a deep breath and suppressed the discomfort caused by chakra's heavy consumption. First time consuming so much chakra. This is the first time I have experienced such a battle. Although it was only a few seconds of contact, the ability of Jugoyu Rinnegan, which can be exerted at this stage, has been exerted to the ultimate state. Shenluo Tianzhang is controlled in a very small range. Without absolute pupil power, such a thing cannot be done. It also means that the consumption of chakra is much larger than normal. Get the calamus back and send her back as soon as possible. Now she is still in a coma and doesn't know anything, once she is told what happened just now. She couldn't live the life of an ordinary girl. Konoha did not know how many times she would investigate her. If it was the deep memory investigation of the Yamanaka clan, the damage done to her would be irreparable. After sending the calamus back, Gaiwu immediately sat down to refine chakra. After this battle, Gaiwu has a clearer understanding of chakra. No matter how powerful Jugoyu Rinnegan is, if there is not enough chakra to use, everything is meaningless. The only shortcut to increase the amount of chakra is the tailed beast. And now those tailed beasts have very mature Jinchuriki. I didn't have a chance to do it myself. Gaiwu didn't even think about going to the tail-snatching beasts in other ninja villages. Not to mention, there is a strongest tail beast around. When Kushina is in production, Obito will definitely come back to make trouble. At that time, you can take the opportunity to collect 9 tails chakra. There are only a few months left, and there is no rush in this 20th. For the battle in the world of unintentional ninjas, chakra from 9 tails is enough, and you don't want to think about anything else. For a 5-year-old child, 5 months pass just by playing. For me, it's just a matter of going back and forth between the snack bar and home every day. I don't feel much, and the time passes. Outside Konoha village, Kakashi and Minato walk together, and the two focus on finding Orochimaru's experimental base. The Hokage rock has been searched, but nothing has been found within a 5-kilometer radius. Minato didn't think too much about Kakashi following him to help him find Orochimaru's base. He is already an elite Jonin, having experienced the Third Ninja War. It was by virtue of this battle that he gained his reputation. Copy Ninja Kakashi. The reputation recognized by the whole ninja world is not only brought to him by a Sharingan. His own ninja quality is very good. The brain is also very useful. Only then will he gain the reputation recognized by ninjas all over the world. Since he came out to help himself, he must have considered Gaiwu and Kushina at home. Only if they are not without danger, will they come here to help themselves find Orochimaru's base. There is a situation. Kakashi snorted. Then he looked down at the ninja dog on the ground, and softly shouted, "Parker." Understood. Parker immediately lowered his head and searched carefully, and quickly locked on the strange smell. "Follow me." Parker accelerated and ran towards the direction of the smell. Kakashi and Minato immediately followed at full speed. Glancing at Kakashi next to him, Minato said softly, "Kakashi, you have grown into a very good ninja. I know my own affairs." Minato knows very well that fighting is what he is good at, but tracking and searching is not particularly good at. And Kakashi has no shortcomings at all. Searching and tracking him has summoning's 8 ninja dogs, and his own perception ability is not bad. In terms of fighting, with Sharingan, he can copy any ninjutsu. He even developed the A-level ninjutsu of Reikiri. That is something that many senior ninjas cannot do. No matter from which point of view, Kakashi's future is limitless. Kakashi shook his head slightly. "I don't want to be a ninja anymore." Experienced Konoha's darkness personally twice, the first being the death of Uchiha Shisui. The second time is the current incident, which can make Namikaze Minato resign from the position of Hokage in anger. One can imagine what kind of darkness he encountered. Konoha is no longer the ideal Konoha. During this time, under the influence of Gaiwu, Kakashi's view of ninja has been greatly changed. Minato froze for a moment, savoring Kakashi's words carefully. Narrowing his eyes slightly, he chuckled and said, "Me too." Kakashi stared blankly at Minato. It turned out that what happened to Minato was more serious than he imagined. Not only did he not step down as Hokage, but he didn't even want to be a ninja. Smart as he wouldn't ask what Minato went through. I dare not ask. That was definitely something that subverted my understanding of Konoha. Namikaze Minato looked ahead and said softly, "After finishing this matter, we will go to Gaiwu's small shop to help him, be an ordinary family, and ignore the affairs of ninjas." After all, Konoha was the place that gave him everything. Namikaze Minato would not be possible without Konoha. Since this incident has already begun, there is no reason for it to end halfway. With countless missions and life and death on the battlefield, plus the disappearance of the Konoha child. Come to repay Konoha and draw a perfect end to your ninja career. Yeah, Kakashi replied emphatically. Parker had already stopped, pointing to a cave in the distance. The smell comes from that. There is a strong smell of blood, and there are all kinds of smells mixed together. Having said that, he turned his head to look at Kakashi. I'm sorry. I feel that it's very dangerous inside, and I can't help you with my ability. It's not that it doesn't want to face danger with Kakashi, but it feels that the strength gap is very large. Staying by Kakashi's side will only drag him down. Kakashi nodded, stroking Parker's head. Go back. Next is the battle between me and Sensei. Bang! Parker disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Minato stared in the direction of the cave, fully releasing his perception. Soon his eyes widened sharply, and he said excitedly, that's right. It's here. I am all too familiar with Orochimaru's ninja snake. Having caught so much and killed so much, no one knows Orochimaru's ninja better than Namikaze Minato. Kakashi took out a handful of kunai, and his expression became extremely serious. Minato took out a handful of kunai from the ninja bag with his right hand, and handed it to Kakashi. Use this. He saw the flying thunder god spell on the kunai. Kakashi immediately took the kunai. Minato walked into the cave first, and said softly, follow my pace. In order to prevent Orochimaru from destroying the evidence in the test base, we have to bypass his monitoring ninja snake. Kakashi nodded, gripped kunai tightly and followed Minato. The two walked into the cave one after another, avoiding all the ninjas monitoring the base, and entered the cave. The things in the first hall made the two of them stunned. Dozens of huge bottles and jars, full of children. All kinds of pipes are plugged into their bodies, and unknown liquids shuttle back and forth in the pipes. Some of the children have died, and only a few are still alive. Kakashi immediately clenched kunai tightly. Sensing his movement, Minato quickly stopped him. He said sadly, we can't save these children. Once those pipes are pulled out from their body, they will die immediately. Their life is all about the stuff in those tubes. They will surely die if they lose those. Minato carefully investigated the things in the base that Orochimaru put on the surface. He knew a little about something related to Orochimaru's experiments. The children in these bottles and jars can only survive by their own will. If their will is not firm enough. Minato took out a handful of kunai. His expression became extraordinarily solemn. Orochimaru's experiments went too far. It's so inhumane. Without touching anything in this laboratory, some necessary evidence was collected. The two continued to walk inside. What they saw made Minato and Kakashi hate Orochimaru and Konoha more and more. Except that the first laboratory was filled with children in jars. All other labs are slaughterhouses. The butcher is Orochimaru. Those who were slaughtered were the children he had captured. All kinds of bottles and jars are filled with the organs of those children. The smell of potion and blood mixed together and turned into a very unpleasant smell. Minato looked at Kakashi beside him worriedly. Kakashi, can you hold on? Kakashi's sense of smell has been cultivated by himself, and it is much stronger than ordinary ninjas, even stronger than himself. Such a smell is definitely extremely lethal to him. Kakashi shook his head firmly. I don't know how many times he has entered and exited the battlefield, and any bloody scene is not enough to shake his heart. Seeing that he said it didn't matter, Minato immediately started to collect evidence. Until all the evidence in the laboratory was collected, the Minato group walked out of the base with Kakashi. Just after leaving the base, Minato's expression froze. Orochimaru has returned, standing not far from the entrance of the cave. Staring at Minato, Orochimaru whispered, you have eaten so many ninjas of me, you know my ninjas like the back of your hand. Minato pulled Kakashi behind him and stared at Orochimaru. Thank you Mr. Snake for your hospitality. Your ninja snakes are delicious. I will never forget them. Suddenly, Orochimaru and Minato spoke in unison. Unfortunately, you will never eat my ninja again. I will never eat your ninja again. The same words spoken from different angles have almost the same meaning. It's all about killing each other. The murderous intent of the two was completely exposed at this moment. It is 5 kilometers away from Konoha. As long as you don't use super large-scale ninjutsu, Konoha will not know that there is a battle here. Both of them can let go and fight. The kunai in his hand was thrown towards Orochimaru, and the other kunai was in his hand, lowering his body and rushing towards Orochimaru at the fastest speed. Hidden Shadow Snake Hand. Orochimaru also showed his full strength without hesitation. His hands turned into dozens of big snakes, and they opened their bloody mouths to bite Minato. Orochimaru also knows something about Minato's abilities, and must not be approached by his kunai. Once he is approached by his kunai, he can appear next to kunai, jump over at any time, and attack himself from unexpected places. One of the big snakes bit the kunai that Minato shot at. Seeing this scene, a sneer appeared on the corner of Minato's mouth, and his forward body suddenly pressed down. Right hand stamp. Boom. The red flame exploded from the kunai. All the big snakes around were swallowed by the flames and turned into fly ash in an instant. The real Flying Thunder God kunai that had already been prepared was thrown out immediately, spreading to every location on the scene. The flames dissipated, and Orochimaru's intact body appeared in place. Hokage has its own legend, detonating charms can't kill people. And here in Orochimaru it's on full display. It exploded at a distance of less than 1 meter, but it didn't hurt him. Orochimaru's eyes were dark enough to drip ice. He thought he knew Minato's fighting style very well, but he didn't expect to face him. He even used detonating charms to pretend to be Flying Thunder God kunai. Namikaze Minato, you really put your heart into it. Conventional fighting methods are useless for him, and he has hidden a detonating talisman, making himself impossible to defend against him. Minato looked at Orochimaru coldly. You are the legendary Sannin, I must go all out for you, all the things I can use. Before he finished speaking, Minato disappeared from the spot, and the next moment he appeared next to a handful of kunai beside Orochimaru. From kunai to Orochimaru's side, there was only one step away, and as soon as it landed, it had already smashed Orochimaru with the Rinnegan. At the same time, a Flying Thunder God kunai is thrown out. Use it all. Hearing the sound that was close at hand, because of the snake's hands turning into countless lion majesty, they headed towards the direction from which the sound came. Orochimaru knows that his speed is absolutely inferior to Minato's, and he can easily catch opportunities while roaming. Facing Minato, you can only fight in situ defense. Escape from Flying Thunder God kunai. Gotta have that chance. Looking at the lion majesty in front of him, his bloody mouth was already in front of him, the stench can already be smelled. Minato spit out a sentence softly, Flying Thunder God second stage. He who had nowhere to rely on in the air suddenly disappeared. The next instant, it appears next to the Flying Thunder God kunai he recognized when he smashed out the Rinnegan. While grabbing Flying Thunder God kunai with his left hand, Rinnegan with his right hand had already hit Orochimaru. Blue rays bloom. The ground within a radius of 100 meters cracked, and countless stones were thrown onto the ground. Orochimaru has disappeared. Minato was going to observe the situation. Lion Majesty swims out of the gap. Hulker with many snake hands. A painful voice came from underground. Countless big snakes rushed out from the ground, scattered in all directions and bit all the living creatures around. Fire style Great Fireball technique. Kakashi, who had been waiting for a long time, used a ninjutsu without hesitation. He has mastered ninjutsu of this level, and its power is not bad. Everything Lion Majesty encountered along the way was burned to ashes, leaving nothing behind. Sensing that Kakashi has the ability to protect himself, Minato is relieved and concentrates on dealing with Orochimaru who came out of the ground. Backquote as expected of the legendary Sannin. Minato sighed softly seeing him intact. Rinnegan took a head-on shot and he was unscathed. Such an enemy is the only one Minato has seen since his debut. Obviously did not see Orochimaru using any means of defense. There is only one reason why he is not damaged at all. His body has an extremely powerful self-healing ability. Or he has similar ninjutsu, which can heal the wounds of the body in a very short time. Either way it's very tricky. This is a completely flawless opponent. Very troublesome. Orochimaru looked in Minato's direction, and said in a deep voice, as expected of the yellow flash. In terms of speed, it was completely crushed, and there was no chance of making a move at all. If things go on like this, open HoloLens bracket whose is the loyalty of the King of Zhao? There will be more chakra. Who can last longer? Whose chakra runs out first? Whoever loses is the one. Kakashi had already used the Sharingan, watching Orochimaru's every move carefully. In just a split second, something was seen through the Sharingan. Reikiri quickly completed the mudra, with a flash of thunder in his right hand. Loud birdsong resounds nearby, like 1,000 birds chirping. He lowered his body and rushed towards Orochimaru. The light of the firefly dares to compete with the bright moon. Orochimaru snorted disdainfully. He still has fears about Minato. For Kakashi, he was completely ignored. Even if there is a Sharingan, it is not his own, and it is not so convenient to use. In Orochimaru's view, such a Sharingan is meaningless. He also disdains to get Sharingan in this way. Seeing Kakashi attacking, Minato's expression froze for a while, and he understood what was going on. Those who underestimate Kakashi pay a huge price. The thing he fought on was never the Sharingan. His ninja quality is the most outstanding that Minato has seen in the years of walking Konoha. Kakashi took the initiative to attack, must have found something. Observe calmly, make decisions before making moves, that is Kakashi's fighting style. As his teacher, Minato knows these things all too well. Seeing Orochimaru attacking Kakashi, Minato launched Flying Thunder God without hesitation, landing next to Orochimaru. Rinnegan came when he wanted it and slammed at Orochimaru. Throw a handful of kunai with your left hand. Seeing Minato throwing the kunai, Orochimaru immediately stared at the kunai with all his attention. Lion Majesty is also going to be near that kunai. As long as his attack reaches Minato's side, he will definitely jump to the side of this kunai. However, when his gaze was fixed on the kunai, Orochimaru was startled into a cold sweat. Detonator, not Flying Thunder God kunai. Minato's kunai has always been true and false, making it hard to tell. It was too late to withdraw the attack. What Minato is best at is speed. The moment the detonator burst into red light, Minato yelled softly, Flying Thunder God second stage. Moved to Kakashi and led him away from the detonator's explosion center. Boom! Red light filled the sky and earth, enveloping Orochimaru. Minato took Kakashi just out of the range of the detonator. After stopping to take a deep breath, run the chakra and stare at the place shrouded in fire. Using Flying Thunder God continuously, the consumption of chakra is terrible. The next blow had to take Kakashi to hit Orochimaru hard. Otherwise, just leave here with Kakashi. Teacher, Kakashi looked at Minato and shouted anxiously. You don't need to say anything, I can rest assured that you do things. Minato stopped Kakashi from speaking out. The secrets he discovers are for him to attack. Once it is said and heard by Orochimaru, the defense of that place will be strengthened. It is unrealistic to use that weakness to inflict serious damage on him. The red light dissipated, and Orochimaru was still intact. However, his breathing also became heavy. As he continuously repairs his body, the consumption of chakra is also very huge. The next blow must be a lore attack. Orochimaru stared in the direction where Kakashi and Minato were. With a big mouth, countless Lion Majesty spit out from his mouth. The overwhelming Lion Majesty opened its mouth wide open, and each Lion Majesty protruded a Sora sword from its mouth. The Lion Majesty stacked on top of each other is more than 3 meters long. The visual impact brought to Kakashi and Minato is like a Lion Majesty tsunami. Lion Majesty isn't just going in the same direction as Minato, they are. In all directions, the sky and the earth spread. Blocked the way for Minato to borrow Flying Thunder God kunai to move to his side and attack. I'm fainting. Minato snorted lightly, took out a handful of Flying Thunder God kunai, and bit it in his mouth. Holding a Rinnegan in each hand, he lowered his body and rushed towards the Lion Majesty tsunami. Kakashi immediately circled behind Orochimaru, and Reikiri on the right did not let go. Chakra consumption is very scary for him at this stage. The only thing that can be hit is this blow, and it is impossible to brew the same attack again. After all, Sharingan has been used, and that flaw in Orochimaru must be pinned down. You cannot attack that place, and attacks anywhere else are meaningless. Minato, who was running fast, didn't even look at Kakashi's side, Rinnegan with his left hand through it, and it hit the Lion Majesty tsunami in the front. Such an attack didn't make much sense against the Lion Majesty tsunami, just a small opening. Minato's expression froze. He quickly took the kunai from his mouth, and threw it into the gap. The moment when Lion Majesty surrounded the sky. Activate Flying Thunder God. Drop point. Kakashi. Before the person landed, his left hand was already on Kakashi's shoulder. Flying Thunder God Part 2. Drop point. That kunai that was thrown out with a small opening. Whoosh. Orochimaru only felt a blur in front of his eyes, and there were two more figures not far in front of him. A sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. Now they have no foothold. Lion Majesty all around. They who are in the air can only become the belly of Lion Majesty. Gaiwu, who perceives the battle happening here CADF through the imprint of time and space, his heart raised to the side of his throat. Minato is so bold. The sky and the earth are all Lion Majesty. Transferring to Orochimaru's side at this time has no meaning other than being eaten up by his Lion Majesty. Wonkwan Bilyongsaka activates, connecting the time and space imprint on Kakashi. With Kakashi in the air, Minato stared at Orochimaru with a triumphant smile on his lips. The free left hand pinched the fingerprints. Boom. With a muffled bang, a shock wave erupted from the Lion Majesty tsunami pile. The power of the detonating talisman is not very great, but it can mess up Lion Majesty's attack rhythm. Taking advantage of their disarray, Minato and Kakashi rushed to Orochimaru at full speed. Reikiri, Rinnegan, one in front and one behind, 2A level ninjutsu hit Orochimaru's body. Kakashi's attack point is different from Minato's. With Sharingan, he saw Orochimaru borrowed living corpse reincarnation, and after changing a body, chakra's circulation is not so smooth. A little chakra flow doesn't have much of an impact in combat. If you are attacked, you can break Orochimaru's chakra circulation. Orochimaru couldn't help howling as 2A level ninjutsu hit his body one after the other. Chakra circulation also went wrong at this time. All over the sky Lion Majesty lost the support of chakra and quickly dissipated. For so many years in the ninja world, this is because it feels the closest to death. There was a big problem with chakra's operation, and it was all supported by the defense of the body. The feeling that the body is being torn is felt little by little, and all the chakra that can be mobilized are mobilized. But there is a large part of chakra that is completely out of order. Rinnegan's power is quickly depleted, and Minato is not surprised but delighted. This is the closest to Orochimaru. As long as you touch his body, you can leave the Flying Thunder God spell on him. At that time any ninjutsu of his will be meaningless. With only 20 centimeters away, Minato extended his right hand towards Orochimaru with all his might. The moment he was about to touch Orochimaru's body, familiar voices came from all directions. Ears pricked up, carefully distinguishing the sound of flipping. Kunai with a detonating talisman. These things are meaningless to oneself, but Kakashi's chakra has been completely exhausted. On the other side of Orochimaru, he was struggling even to stand. Slow down a little bit, and his life will be ended by kunai with a detonating talisman. Give up imprinting the Flying Thunder God spell on Orochimaru, grab Kakashi, and use Flying Thunder God to transfer. Boom, boom, boom. Dozens of red flames erupted at the position just now. Day and night are illuminated by the red fire. A radius of 1 kilometer turned into daylight. Seeing the surrounding situation, Minato's heart sank into ice. Hundreds of ninjas wearing Anbu masks appear around. None of them have shinobi forehead protector on them. But there are so many ninjas around Konoha, and all of them are Anbu without Ninja Village's forehead protector. Where they come from is already revealed. Konoha. Seeing the appearance of these people, Minato's heart was completely chilled. Himself and Kakashi pursue the murderer for Konoha's missing children. Fight to the death with Orochi Maruberi, one of the legendary Sannin. When he was about to execute this murderer who disregarded other people's lives, Yunyi actually sent so many Anbu ninjas to stop him. In order to consolidate his rights, Sarutobi Hiruzen has already used all means. Never saw so many Jonin-level ninjas on one battlefield during World War III. When I was chasing the murderer, there were so many Jonin. Such a thing, if he hadn't experienced it himself, no matter who told him about it, Minato would sneer at it. Attack! The leading Anbu ninja waved his hand. All Anbu start printing. Seeing this scene, Minato couldn't say anything except anger. Even if he used Flying Thunder God 6 times in a row in the battle just now, there was not much left of chakra. He is no longer supported to use Flying Thunder God again. With so many ninja attacks, he couldn't dodge them no matter what. Orochimaru stood up with difficulty and stared at Minato. His body has withstood the attack just now, and it is riddled with holes. I am the one who wins in the end. Minato, you are too straightforward. You who don't know how to change power can only become someone else's victim. Konoha can only die in battle. Before he finished speaking, he saw a dark time and space appearing around Minato. Ghost Yeba, you still have chakra. Why do you have such a chakra? Why are you still able to use time and space at this time? Orochimaru went berserk. At the moment when the winning ticket is in his hands, such an accident suddenly occurs, which is the last thing he wants to see. It's also my least favorite thing ever. It's like how you can escape as long as you kill Jiraiya. Tsunade dragged Jiraiya to wake up, and escaped after a thrilling experience. That feeling is what he dislikes the most. Accident. Always the thing Orochimaru hated the most. Fire-style dragon fire technique. Earth-style rock iron cannon. Wind-style great breakthrough. Countless ninjutsu were completed at this moment, enveloping Kakashi and Minato. However, the light of these ninjutsu could not illuminate the dark space and time around Kakashi and Minato. A hand stretched out from inside the time-space, grabbed Kakashi, and dragged Minato in together. The moment he entered time and space, Minato looked at Orochimaru. The future will be long. Konoha's children's revenge, I will definitely find you and avenge them. Seeing that the dark time and space are completely closed, all ninjutsu is in vain. Orochimaru went berserk. Roar in anger. Namikaze Minato. Yeba Gaiwu. Seeing that the task could not be completed, the Anbu ninja ignored Orochimaru who was standing there, and all left in a flash. Their mission is to kill Namikaze Minato outside the village. There is only one chance to shoot. If Namikaze Minato cannot be killed, the rest of the matter has nothing to do with them. As for where Orochimaru will go, they have no right or qualification to ask. After Anbu ninja left, Sarutobi Hiruzen walked over slowly. Orochimaru stared at him and sneered, "Hey, this is my sanctimonious teacher. For the sake of my own power, I can attack the 4th Hokage who I personally promoted. Old man, you are really dirty." At this time, no matter what Orochimaru said, Sarutobi Hiruzen had no intention of fighting with him. Where did Namikaze Minato escape to? What kind of ability does Yeba Gaiwu have? These things are things he needs to deal with urgently. Where is the mood to fight with Orochimaru? Gazing at Orochimaru. You can't stay in Konoha anymore. Orochimaru froze for a moment, took a deep breath, and stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen coldly. No matter what, the ninja he led saved his life today. Without his support, after Kakashi and Minato's joint attack, there is absolutely no way for him to survive. He said indifferently, "Are you defecting? It's something I've thought about a long time ago. Old man, there are things you want in the base, and your reputation can be stabilized with the help of those. Konoha is too dirty, I have no interest in staying here." After speaking, he left without looking back. It doesn't matter if Sarutobi Hiruzen saves his own life and uses those things in the experimental base to stabilize his position. Anyway, the living corpse reincarnation experiment has been successful, so there is no need to keep the base. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen play its final role. It can be regarded as the only support I have given him since he became Hokage. I hate him though. Orochimaru is gone. There is nothing unusual about Sarutobi Hiruzen. Although Orochimaru is the disciple brought out by him, he loves him the most among the 3 disciples. But the value of their existence is to help themselves stabilize Hokage's position. The matter of Orochimaru has been brought to light. It is impossible for him to stay in Konoha. There is only one way to flee. The things in his experimental base can bring him more benefits. Several Hokage directly under Anbu appeared beside Sarutobi Hiruzen. These are his confidants who have worked so hard to cultivate, and they will never expose what he has done. With the existence of these people, the purpose of coming here has been witnessed. Plus the surrounding battle marks. Everything is so perfect. He fought fiercely with Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sannin, but because of his old age, Orochimaru was not left behind and he ran away. but dig up everything in his base. All the children that Konoha had disappeared over the years had their whereabouts. Another public apology, saying that I have cultivated a disciple who has gone astray. Although this kind of thing will be criticized by others, but because of the traces of this war, it proves that he has fought with all his strength. The one who did those things was Orochimaru after all. As the third Hokage, I also fought with all my heart. Although there are some objections, they will seek medical treatment for those children in the hospital because of themselves. On the hunt for the murderer. All negative remarks will eventually develop in a good direction. Sarutobi Hiruzen took out a stack of documents. Clean up the corpses of these people, they cannot be found by any means. These are the missing children that he and Danzo have been hiding from Orochimaru for years. They absolutely cannot appear. Otherwise, the accusation of an accomplice cannot be escaped. As an old fox, it's impossible to capsize at this place. Hi. All Hokage subordinates Anbu took the information handed over by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and immediately went into the cave to find the children on the information. Minato home, looking at the familiar surroundings, and Gaiwu who was sitting there as if nothing had happened. Minato took a deep breath and sat down on Gaiwu's bed with a dejected look on his face. Kakashi didn't say a word either. What happened in the end hit him too hard. After chasing the murderer, I and my teacher became the targets of Konoha Anbu's murder. This kind of thing can't be tolerated by anyone. After a long time, Minato murmured, Gaiwu, do you think we should leave Konoha? A trace of delusion, but also completely disintegrated because of the appearance of those Anbu for a long time. Gaiwu shrugged, and said very flatly, why did you leave? Minato was shocked and turned around to look at Gaiwu blankly. After experiencing such a thing, he was completely disappointed in Konoha, and he didn't have any hope for everything here. Frustrated, he casually asked a question. In fact, he himself knew that he had asked the wrong person. Gaiwu doesn't care about Konoha at all, and he never wants to participate in the battle between ninjas. When it came to questions about whether he would stay or not, he could answer them so easily. As if I asked a very idiotic question. Seeing Minato's blank look, Gaiwu said softly, once you leave, Sarutobi Hiruzen will do everything possible to discredit you. Minato and Kakashi wanted to refute Gaiwu's words. The words came to my mouth but I couldn't say anything. If it is the Sarutobi Hiruzen I met before, he is so kind and caring for the younger generation. It is simply impossible to do things that the Ghost, 040, didn't say. But the problem is, what they experienced these days completely refreshed their understanding of Sarutobi Hiruzen. An old man who has no scruples about power. A dirty old man who would sacrifice anything for his own prestige and status. He can definitely do those things that Gaiwu said. Gaiwu stared at Minato and said in a deep voice, Fourth Hokage is upright, has never done anything wrong, Isshin is for Konoha. Everything is for Konoha village residents to get a better living environment. If even an upright person like you has to bear the name of traitorous ninja, there is no turning back for Konoha. You are Hokage. It is your duty to guide the people of Konoha village on a path of happiness and well-being. Minato's eyes were wide open. He never expected that Gaiwu would give such an answer. Dumbly asked, you mean, let me continue to serve as Hokage? Gaiwu smiled slightly, although I really want you to come to my snack bar and help me deliver food for me, and the family happily runs the snack bar. But the problem is, you are Namikaze Minato, the fourth Hokage. You are an upright and responsible man. So, do whatever comes to your mind. It's not that Gaiwu doesn't want to take the opportunity to pull Minato into his small shop. Minato is that kind of person. His sense of responsibility, his integrity, made it impossible for him to avoid some things. Konoha is the place where he was born and raised, and he has deep feelings for it. Even if you trick him into leaving now, he will find a way to come back in the future. Not to mention, Kushina is Nine Tails Jinchuriki. It is impossible for Minato to leave Konoha without Kushina. Nine Tails are Konoha's most important strategic weapon. Jinchuriki are absolutely not allowed to leave Ninja Village for a long time. Furthermore, Jinchuriki will not be allowed to defect. Once Minato defected, what he will encounter will be the pursuit from all ninja villages all over the world. Only because Nine Tails, the most powerful tail beast, Any ninja village would do anything to get 9 tails. Minato stood up slowly, his eyes full of determination. Glancing at Kakashi and Gaiwu. In the battle just now, Orochimaru yelled madly at the end, exposing Gaiwu's name. If you want Gaiwu's life not to be affected by Konoha, you must go back to the Hokage building. Go deal with that old fox Sarutobi Hiruzen. In Konoha, the family has only to deal with intrigue from Sarutobi Hiruzen's side. Once they leave Konoha, the family will face the pursuit of countless people, both openly and secretly. At that time, the family will never have peace, and the birth of Naruto will become a big problem. But Minato has his own pride. I've stepped down from Hokage, there's no way I'll be in that position again. I will deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen in my own way and protect everything at home. Gaiwu was slightly taken aback. After all, Namikaze Minato could not be persuaded to return to Hokage's position. But that's okay too. That was a choice he made. Kushina walked in slowly, scanned the 3 men in the room, and finally settled on Minato. Said softly, I will support you in whatever decision you make. Go ahead and do it. Minato nodded heavily, sat cross-legged and recovered for a while chakra. Feeling that it was enough to deal with what happened tonight, I walked out of the house and walked towards the Hokage building. As soon as Minato left, Kakashi's eyes widened sharply, he said intently, someone is coming. Gaiwu sneered. Until the negotiation between Minato-san and Sarutobi Hiruzen fails, they dare not act rashly. Moreover, any enemy who underestimates our family will pay a very heavy price. Am I right, Kushina-san? The blood-red hair was windless and automatic, Kushina's right fist was clenched, and it was slowly lifted up. My fist is already hungry and thirsty. Uzumaki blood. 9 tails Jinchuriki, the strongest combat power of the Minato family, but not even a little bit of chakra is lost. Full combat power reserved, let alone the ninjas who came to monitor the Minato family. Even if all the ninjas in Konoha come, don't try to stop her. The most important is, 9 tails is threatened by Gaiwu and dare not influence Kushina. Her combat power is definitely the strongest in the Minato family. Even Gaiwu, who owns the 9-Go-Yu Rinnegan, can't compare to Kushina's fighting handle at this time. All the ninjas outside the house heard Kushina's words. The leader quickly waved his hand to signal everyone to stop. Kushina is not as famous as the legendary Sannin and Namikaze Minato, but it does not mean that her fighting power will be weaker than those people. Getting her mad is definitely more serious than Namikaze Minato. That is the anger that absolutely no one can bear. The leading ninja quietly wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. No one dares to underestimate Kushina. Hokage House. Sarutobi Hiruzen came back satisfied, and just entered the office when he saw Namikaze Minato leaning against the wall. An imperceptible ruthlessness flashed in his eyes, and he said in a deep voice, Minato. Minato raised his head and stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen coldly. Anything you want to do is your business. But you have to dare to do anything to my family. I can tell you with absolute certainty. Konoha. It will definitely be destroyed in my hands. Sarutobi Hiruzen never imagined that Namikaze Minato could be so stubborn at this moment. What is his basis? The Flying Thunder God definitely doesn't have that ability. Minato walked out of the Hokage building slowly, and when he passed Sarutobi Hiruzen, he whispered something in his ear. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes widened to the sky. Eyes filled with horror. How did I forget this? How could I forget this? Namikaze Minato is good at more than just Flying Thunder God. He punched heavily on the desk, his eyes projecting a strong sense of helplessness. Namikaze Minato has more than Flying Thunder God to offer. If he uses another ability, Konoha really has no one to be his opponent. In the previous battle against Orochimaru, if he was given time to arrange, it would be impossible for Shimaru to leave. No matter how powerful Orochimaru is, once Minato is given time, all his abilities will become meaningless. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath. Although Namikaze Minato has always been a man of integrity, it is impossible for him to do that kind of thing according to his character. But the problem is that Sarutobi Hiruzen can't afford to gamble. Today he proposed that Sarutobi Hiruzen would not dare to gamble even if there was only a 1 in a billion possibility. Lost. I will pay for the whole Konoha. My hard work for so many years will become meaningless. Alas. With a heavy sigh, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt that he was getting old. He was threatened by Namikaze Minato one after another, but he couldn't do anything about him. This feeling is very uncomfortable. Recently, I seem to have done a little too much to him. If it weren't for what he did during this time, Minato would be the obedient Namikaze Minato. It is impossible to do something that threatens yourself face to face. Unfortunately, there is no room for redemption. Things have been done and Namikaze Minato has seen those things. There is no way to change it. I just hope he doesn't do anything too outrageous. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. With one order, all the ninjas surrounding Minato's house evacuated. Danzo, who got the news, rushed to the Hokage building immediately. Hiruzen, what's going on? Konoha must not have a retiring Hokage. There must be only Hokage who died in battle. Facing Danzo's questioning, Sarutobi Hiruzen opened his mouth and spit out a few subjects. Hearing these words, Danzo immediately withered. Sighing softly, that's impossible. Just hope he doesn't actually do something like that. Otherwise, the whole Konoha will be destroyed. Back home, Minato lifted out a bag very skillfully, and looked at the two people sitting on the sofa with nervous expressions with a smile on his face. Gaiwu is totally indifferent. No matter what Konoha wants to do, with Jugoryu Rinnegan, there is no point in anything they do. Minato smiled and said, during this period of time, I have formed an instinct to catch snakes. I grabbed a few pictures of the ninjas in the Orochimaru base. Tonight's supper is settled. Gaiwu immediately stood up, took Minato's bag, and said softly, you have worked hard these days. I don't need your help in the kitchen, I can handle it by myself. Minato walked to the sofa with a smile and sat down on the sofa. With a lazy face, he said, I haven't had a good meal in the past 2 days, can I order? Gaiwu said softly, let Kakashi go. What Minato wants to order, Gaiwu knows it without him saying it. Stealing chickens is what Kakashi is best at, so I don't do those things myself. Kakashi, who had just recovered a little from chakra, quickly stood up and rushed out without looking back. Things like stealing chickens have only the beginning and never the end. Especially if there is an all-round chef at home, the dishes made are absolutely delicious. Then I can't wait to steal a few chickens from outside every day. A real treat. Kakashi, who is already used to doing this kind of thing, will no longer have any waves in his heart. Kushina looked at Minato with a worried face. Minato. Minato raised his hand to signal her not to continue, and said softly, don't worry. Our family lives as we want. No one can affect our lives. He had already said so, and Kushina's heart was relieved. Over the years, Minato has been a very reliable man who will do what he says. Not long, Kakashi didn't know which family's yard followed 3 old hens back. Gaiwu slaughtered the 3 old hens without any hassle. A pot of dragon and phoenix soup boiled for 3 hours, and when the whole family was drooling with greed, Gaiwu finally brought the dragon and phoenix soup to the table. Hearty and delicious, unlimited food, enough for a family of 4. It is not advisable to rest immediately after eating too much. On the roof, the 4 sat together and watched the twinkling stars in the sky. The 4 of them didn't seem to see the ninjas coming and going around them. Gaiwu glanced at Minato. Until now, he still can't figure out how Minato solved Sarutobi Hiruzen in such a short time. It is impossible to kill. How did he prevent Sarutobi Hiruzen from attacking the Minato family? As far as I know Namikaze Minato, he is best at flying Thunder God, and the others don't seem to have particularly powerful abilities. How did such Namikaze Minato make Sarutobi Hiruzen shut up? Feeling Gaiwu's gaze, Namikaze Minato thought about it for a while and knew what Gaiwu was thinking, and said with a smile. You tell me your secret, and I will tell you mine. Gaiwu shrugged and said helplessly, the time is not yet ripe. I don't know. Minato responded with the same words, my timing wasn't right either. Minato-san, you are so skinny, do you know? Gaiwu said with a depressed face. Ha 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 ha. Minato laughed and lay down on the roof. The time is indeed not yet ripe, and it doesn't make sense to talk to Gaiwu now. I prepared that a long time ago, but it wasn't aimed at Konoha. But want to protect Kushina. The sealing ability of the sealing spell will be weakened when Jinchuriki is produced. In order to avoid accidents at this time, Namikaze Minato started preparations a long time ago. It has not been fully completed, and it cannot be said at this time. Seeing Minato's smug laugh, Kushina was stunned. What makes Namikaze Minato so proud? What else made him so happy? It's a happy feeling like a weasel who stole a chicken. Early the next morning, representatives of all Konoha ninjas gather at Hokage House. Third generation stood in front of these ninjas, cleared its throat, and said in a deep voice. The real culprit has been found in the missing child case. Here, I apologize to all the villagers of Konoha. The person who did these things is my disciple. It is Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sannin. It's a pity, I'm too old to keep Orochimaru and let him go. As of today, rank Orochimaru is an S-rank rebellious ninja. Things have come to this point, Sarutobi Hiruzen never thought of showing mercy. It is very necessary to list Orochimaru as an S-rank rebel. It expresses his determination to kill him, and also shows the strength of Orochimaru. People who don't have that ability don't think anything about Orochimaru. Although you can get very high rewards for killing S-rank rebels, you must have that ability. All the ninjas present were in an uproar. No one would have thought that the person who would do such a thing would be one of the legendary Sannin of Konoha. The name alone is daunting. Although the rewards for the S-rank ninja are high, no one dares to hunt down Orochimaru to get that reward. After an impassioned speech, Sarutobi Hiruzen burst into tears. He apologized again, begged the villagers to forgive him, and said that his crime was unforgivable. But there is no mention of fourth Hokage. Everyone present is used to it. Everyone knows that Namikaze Minato is just a puppet standing in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Nothing but the name fourth Hokage. On such an occasion, there is nothing strange about not mentioning his name. At this time, Namikaze Minato had already taken off his ninja costume, and worked as a waiter in Gaiwu's snack bar with peace of mind. Kushina is in charge of the cash register. Kakashi and Minato run the errands. Chapter 81. Gaiwu stayed busy in his small kitchen. Because of the last time he robbed Iris with Orochimaru, Jugoyu Rinnegan's pupil power exploded completely. Picking and putting items with HRE and universal pull are now more accurate. It is also more convenient to use. Cheerfully making his own snacks, Gaiwu is in a very good mood now. Contemporary Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, Uzumaki Kushina works as a cashier in the store. Former 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato runs errands in the store. There is also an awesome Kakashi who also runs errands in his store. This feels pretty good. With painstaking efforts, the work in the kitchen became more and more vigorous. The whole family is helping in the store, and each of them has superpowers. Also because of their appearance changed the trajectory of their lives. As a time traveler, changing the life trajectory of the original characters is a very fulfilling thing. Namikaze Minato stepped down as 4th Hokage, something Gaiwu never expected. Entering his family, originally wanted to change the trajectory of his life, but never expected to bring such a big change. Now Konoha has become more and more interesting under his unintentional influence. It was still 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Gaiwu finished work on time. Get some snacks and walk to the front. To Gaiwu's surprise, many of the guests who were supposed to leave earlier still stayed here. They sat around Namikaze Minato and chatted with him about their experiences on the battlefield. Gaiwu didn't bother them either, and walked to the counter. Seeing him coming, Kushina stretched out his right hand towards him. Gaiwu shook his head slightly, and jumped onto the chair with a little effort. Just about to lie on the counter and watch the people chatting in the store like before. Kushina grabbed herself and sat on the counter, smiling and looking at Gaiwu. If only you could grow up quickly. Gaiwu looked confused. What's the situation, is this? Kushina stretched out her slender index finger and tapped Gaiwu's forehead. You're too young. You're too old again. No matter how you feel, your mind doesn't match your body at all. Why? Grow up quickly and have an adult body, it will look much more pleasing to the eye. Gaiwu immediately became displeased, curled his lips and said, that means my current appearance doesn't look very pleasing to the eye. Kushina laughed and said with a smile, that's what I mean, what can you do to me? Gaiwu was stunned, he had never seen such a mischievous side of Kushina. Maybe this is the real her. There were too many things in my heart before, and many things could not be said. Now the family joins hands to run the small shop. She is very satisfied with such a life. Don't worry about anything. Standing in the store and harvesting the money paid by the customers. Watching Minato and Kakashi running around in the small shop, listening to Gaiwu busy in the back kitchen. This kind of life is what she yearns for. It was impossible to live a life like this before. Now it's really happening, and all this is brought by Gaiwu. Because I thank him, I deliberately tease him. Gaiwu naturally knew the truth, and grabbed a bunch of snacks at random. Now you bully me just because you are bigger than me. When Naruto is born, you see how I bully him and it's over. Kushina didn't care at all, and said with a smile, it's okay. You are Naruto's big brother. As a big brother, it's perfectly normal to bully your younger brother. Gaiwu is speechless. As a mother, Kushina is really special. Others don't want to see their children being bullied, but she encourages herself to bully Naruto. With her words in hand, no matter how you bully Naruto in the future, what will happen? Gaiwu, your shop should expand. Minato's voice came from behind. Gaiwu was about to turn around by himself. But Kushina turned around and put it on the counter. He picked up the calamus next to him and put it on the counter. Have the two of you sit close together. Calamus's face was instantly flushed red, and he lowered his head, completely daring not to look at anyone. Gaiwu looked at Minato, who raised his head, and shook his head firmly. I'm still young. Anyone's request can be used to attack them because of their young age. Minato looked helplessly at the comrades around the table. I'll just say it, Gaiwu will definitely say that. Those around the table immediately became unhappy. Minato, you are so mean. You can enjoy Mr. Gaiwu's cooking skills for 3 meals a day. Why am I not as lucky as you? Just pick up a child on the battlefield and have a cooking skill that I can't let go of. Oh, if only Gaiwu had been brought back by me. Gaiwu, who was sitting on the counter, was full of lovelessness. Kushina is addicted to playing, grabbing his eyelids and rubbing them non-stop. From time to time, it is pinched into various strange shapes, making the calamus next to it laugh. Seeing Gaiwu being bullied like that by Kushina, everyone laughed out loud, and no one mentioned Gaiwu's overtime work anymore. Limiting the amount to such a small amount every day makes it impossible for them to satisfy their appetites. There are many people who want to learn Gaiwu's craftsmanship, but the things they make don't have the taste of Gaiwu. After trying it a few times, I didn't go to those places again. I would rather wait a little longer at Gaiwu's place and eat a little less every day, and wait for the snacks that Gaiwu personally makes. After chatting for a while, Minato sent out the ninjas who clamored to come to his house as guests. The whole family sat together to rest. I always eat these things on land, and I feel a little less flavorful. When will I get some seafood to try? Hearing Gaiwu's words, both Minato and Kakashi were stunned. Thinking about it carefully, the family has indeed not eaten seafood for a long time. Because of World War III, many of the original living supplies could not be brought in. Even if the truce is now over, those who were running business before would not dare to come out rashly. After all, during the war, many businessmen were killed by the ninjas in Ruamuro. Kushina's eyes lit up. Before coming to Konoha, her home was by the sea, and she has a soft spot for seafood. In the past, every time Minato went on missions and made money, he would buy some seafood and go home. The war has been fought for so long, and she hasn't eaten seafood for a long time. You guys have to find a way to get me a table of seafood. Kushina put her hands Qian Dezhou on her hips and glared at Minato and Kakashi. The two of them looked at Gaiwu sadly. What's the point of bringing this up? After finally relaxing, Kushina issued such a task. Gaiwu shrugged, saying that this has nothing to do with him. It's just to express your desire for food. Minato knew that he couldn't run away, so he said helplessly, go and find Nara Shirju, he must know someone who specializes in selling seafood. Then what are you waiting for? Kushina immediately stood up and stopped. The family immediately rushed towards the Nara family. Follow the Anbu ninja who is watching them in the dark, and follow carefully. Anyone in Namikaze Minato's family is now a key monitoring target for Hokage and Danzo. Orochimaru screamed angrily at that moment. They all want to know what kind of ability Yeba Gaiwu has. Unfortunately, no one dared to ignore Minato's warning. Really pissed off Minato, he definitely has the ability to sing and vomit. The Nara family's residents soon arrived. Nara, who stayed at home, welcomed the Minato family. Minato directly explained why he came here. Naraluju was stunned for a while, but didn't pay too much attention. Because of blood, everyone in the Nara family has a very high IQ. Some who are not talented enough in family ninjutsu or engaged in other things. Contacting merchants has their own set of methods. Coupled with the practice of the Nara family, the consumption is not very large, and each Nara family is very rich. Various precious tea leaves are served on the table. Nara Shikajiu glanced at the people behind Minato, and paused for a while focusing on Gaiwu. Minato's expression is fixed, it's not the first time he has dealt with Nara Shikaku. You can understand a lot just by looking at his eyes. What happened to today's meeting? Nara Shikaku looked at Minato and sighed, you don't care at all. Although the answer was irrelevant, the people next to him knew what Nara was talking about. The fight between Minato and Kakashi against Orochimaru was cleared by Sarutobi Hiruzen. But the escape technique used by the Nara family is Yin escape technique, which can see some things that others cannot see. Who caused that battle? He already had a clear mind, but he didn't say it in public. He has his own persistence in his heart. Minato smiled heartily. The only I care about is my family. This is my bottom line, and no one can touch it. Naradir was silent for a while, then nodded imperceptibly. What do you want to do with that person? Kill, Minato said without hesitation. Although neither of them said the name, but the two tacitly know that the other is talking about Orochimaru. Nara Shikaku nodded. In this incident, the Nara family also had children missing. Sarutobi Hiruzen designated Orochimaru as an S-rank rebel. The subconscious meaning is to let the people in the village not chase after him. Nara Shirju also knew that he was unable to avenge that revenge. But someone in Konoha hated that person and wanted revenge on that person. Since he wanted to, he would use everything in the Nara family to help him. Only those who killed Orochimaru, the children of the Nara clan he captured for experimentation, and the children of Konoha can rest in peace. But, there is no need to say this kind of thing, just keep it in your heart. When you get news from Orochimaru, tell Minato the news, and he will naturally find a way to deal with it. The seafood you need, I will get it back and send it to your home as soon as possible. A smile appeared on the corner of Minato's mouth, and he nodded slightly. They are all smart people, some things can be said to the point, there is no need to say everything clearly, see ya. Then, farewell, Minato stood up and said softly. Take the family out of Nara Station. Back home, Minato was no longer polite, and activated the spells arranged at home. Cut off all perception from the outside. While outside, Sarutobi Hiruzen is up to you to do whatever you want. As I said before, I won't embarrass those ninjas who monitor themselves. But at home, it's a family affair. If this privacy cannot be guaranteed, the previous compromise will be meaningless. Threatening Sarutobi Hiruzen in the Hokage building yesterday, actually backed down. For the peaceful life of the family, Namikaze Minato is willing to make concessions. There is only one way to be truly tough. Kill the third generation. But that's not something Namikaze Minato can do. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen did too much, when he didn't touch the 4 members of his family, 1 penny and 1 rich. Minato will not kill him, and there is no reason to kill him. And, if you kill 3rd Hokage as a Konoha, you will never be able to stay in Konoha. 3rd generation can't die. That meant Minato had to make concessions. The position of Hokage has been resigned, and Minato will not return to the position of Hokage under any circumstances. As for how Sarutobi Hiruzen will operate, that is all his business. Minato didn't care about it, nor did he have that idea. Now I just want to run my family quietly, and I don't want to do anything else. Minato sat in the middle, explaining his understanding of chakra to Kakashi and Gaiwu, and doing some small-scale weifin. Gaiwu's ability has been known by Minato. Totally agree with the idea of him not being a ninja. Not being a ninja doesn't mean you can't practice ninjutsu. After all, Minato is a man with cage-level strength, and his understanding of chakra is far from what Gaiwu figured out by himself. Under his teaching, chakra's refining speed has made great progress. Feeling the growth rate of Gaiwu's chakra, Minato sighed softly. At the beginning, I thought you had a very high talent in chakra cultivation, and seeing it now really opened my eyes. With your chakra refining speed, the amount of chakra will reach the jhanan level in a month at most. Although I wasted 2 months, it's not too late for me to teach you seriously now. You are only 5 years old, you still have a lot of time. Chakra is the root of all abilities. Gaiwu nodded seriously. When Minato taught chakra refining method before, he didn't explain it in great detail. Because at that time Gaiwu made it clear that he didn't want to be a ninja. Minato didn't want to make things difficult for him either. The situation is different now. Konoha is no longer friendly to the Minato family. Not even hostile. The improvement of strength is very necessary. At about the same time, Gaiwu's eyes turned into Jugoyu Rinnegan. Gao Tianyuan activates. Life energy enters the body of the 3 people. Kushina had already performed a purification of life energy, and Gao Tianyuan had no effect on her. The effect on Minato is not too great either. He has a talent for training in time and space ninjutsu, but he doesn't have the limit of blood succession. The effect on Kakashi cannot be described as huge. He is not of the Uchiha clan, and his integration with the Sharingan is not very high. Sharingan consumes his chakra all the time. Gao Tianyuan's effect on him is to make his body compatible with Sharingan. 3 Tomo Sharingan is slowly changing. Mangekyo Sharingan, Minato exclaimed. Mangekyo Sharingan is a secret to ordinary people, but not a secret to ninjas of his level. Kakashi looked at his hands, feeling the energy brought by the change of eyes. Extend your hand slowly. Melt in when it hits the ground. Time and space. Kushina on the side exclaimed. Space-time is a very rare ability. But, in my family, all 3 men have the ability of time and space. Kamui, Gaiwu muttered softly. The origin of Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan is known to no one present except him. Minato and Kushina must have thought it was their own 9-Go-Yu Rinnegan who opened Mangekyo for Kakashi. But in fact, Kakashi's Sharingan has long been Mangekyo Sharingan, but he has no ability to open it. When he killed Rin Nohara with a Reikiri, his Sharingan had already become Mangekyo. One is the chakra problem. The second is the issue of compatibility. Compatibility issues resolved. The question of chakra becomes less important. Kamui, Kakashi stared blankly at his right hand across the floor. The surprise in my heart can no longer be expressed in words. The ability of time and space is something he envies but cannot obtain. Every time I see Minato using Flying Thunder God, his eyes light up with envy. Now I also have time-space ability. And, the name Gaiwu chose for his space-time ability is very hockey. Kamui, sounds like hockey is amazing. I have roughly explored some of Kamui's abilities, and I will become more proficient in using them more in the future. That's amazing. Minato looked at Gaiwu in a daze. His special eyes can actually help Kakashi to open Mangekyo Sharingan. Also makes his body compatible with Sharingan. This ability is already very heaven-defying. Gaiwu is naturally very satisfied with this effect. I thought about it carefully before. Danzo can use Izanagi freely, thanks to a handmade of Hashirama cells that Orochimaru gave him. The principle is that the cells of Hashirama contain very rich life energy. And Gao Tianyuan's ability is life. Purifying life energy, changing the boundary and body of the blood inheritance, is just changing the life on the original basis. This change is only scratching the surface of Gao Tianyuan's ability. More esoteric abilities. Death is the end of life. Rebirth is the end of life changing. Longevity is the uninterrupted life. All of this is within Gao Tianyuan's ability. How can such a plateau be inferior to the life energy contained in Hashirama cells? Gaiwu looked at Minato and said softly, "This is the unique ability of my pair of 9-Go-Yu Rinnegan, Gao Tianyuan." Unique ability. Minato keenly grasped the meaning of Gaiwu's words. Now that the topic has been opened, Gaiwu has no intention of hiding it any longer. Sharingan is a single Guyu at the beginning, it will become stronger with practice, and gradually become 3 Tomo Sharingan. Hearing this, both Kakashi and Minato nodded, these are all they know. Kushina, who originally didn't plan to listen to Minato explaining chakra refining to Gaiwu, also moved a stool and sat down. She is also very curious about the Sharingan's secret and the Rinnegan's secret. Unconsciously, originally centered on Minato, now it is centered on Gaiwu. 3 Tomo Sharingan will become Mangekyo because of hatred and pain after losing a loved one, or killing his closest friend with his own hands. Kakashi froze. Kill your closest friend with your own hands. Rin Nohara. I killed my closest friend with my own hands. It turns out that at that time, I started Mangekyo Sharingan. Mangekyo Sharingan has not been able to be used just because of physical compatibility issues. Minato patted Kakashi's shoulder lightly. If Gaiwu hadn't said it, no one would have thought that Kakashi's Mangekyo was opened at that time. Although Gaiwu told how Kakashi opened Mangekyo, no one felt that his Takamahara was not strong enough. The ability to make him, a non-Uchiha tribe, compatible with Sharingan is not something anyone can possess. Gaiwu glanced at Kakashi, saw that his eyes were only sad but not decadent, and continued. After Mangekyo Sharingan comes Eternity Mangekyo. Mangekyo Sharingan can lead to blindness when overused. Only by fusing with another pair of Mangekyo Sharingan will there be eternal light. Those eyes are called Eternal Mangekyo. It has eternal light. Kakashi smiled bitterly, and said softly, "It turns out that I have such an ability and I can't use it too much." Crack. Gaiwu patted him angrily. "When I don't exist, I can make you compatible with Sharingan by changing your life energy. Sharingan is blind when overused, and that's for other people. For you, that situation no longer exists. As long as chakra is enough, you can use Kamui's ability with confidence." Kakashi smiled embarrassedly. He whispered, "Didn't you make it clear?" Gaiwu glared at him, so frightened that Kakashi choked back his words. "I said silently in my heart, this big brother is a bit fierce." 3 seconds of silence for Naruto. Speaking of which, it should be a very happy thing to bully my younger brother as a big brother. Hey, little brother Naruto, you're only 4 months away. Really been waiting? Kushina asked anxiously. What's the situation with Rinnegan? Gaiwu stared at Kushina and said softly, Rinnegan is the eyes of the Otsutsuki clan. He needs the life energy of the Otsutsuki clan plus spiritual energy to evolve. Minato's expression froze. So you are from the Otsutsuki family? Gaiwu shrugged. I don't know why I have a pair of 9-hook Jade Rinnegan. After I learned how to refine chakra that day, I opened my eyes. My last name has always been Yeba. No one has pursued this issue. What kind of clan the Otsutsuki family is, no one present except Gaiwu knows. Just because I suddenly heard a powerful clan that I had never heard of before, I was curious, so I asked one more question. Kushina sighed. Listening to you, the Otsutsuki clan is a very old clan. That is to say, it is impossible for the life energy and spiritual energy of the Otsutsuki family to reappear. Feeling Kushina's and Minato's eyes on him, Inkashi smiled slightly. I'm already very happy to have this Mangekyo, and I don't want Rinnegan anymore. Gaiwu continued. There are also many types of Rinnegan. The Rinnegan without the Jade, and the Rinnegan with the 3 Jade and the Rinnegan with the 6 Jade. The 3 of them stared at Gaiwu's eyes and said in unison. There are 3 rings, and there is a round of hook pressure on each ring. That means you are Jugoyu Rinnegan. A superlative Rinnegan. Gaiwu smiled and nodded. Oh, the 3 were stunned. No wonder Gaiwu has such a powerful ability at such a young age. It turns out that his eyes are the top-notch eyes, and there is no more powerful eyes than his in the world. Rinnegan has 3 abilities, common abilities, advanced abilities, and unique abilities. Usually, the ability I use to get seasoning in the kitchen of the small shop is a general-purpose ability. The ability that saved you from Sarutobi Hiruzen last time was an advanced general ability, Huangquan Hiruzen. At last, my unique ability is Gao Tianyuan. Control your life. The 3 of them shook their bodies and nodded in bewilderment, muttering in their mouths, it's amazing. Seeing their bewildered expressions, Gaiwu also knew that he was playing the piano against each other. They can still understand things within the Sharingan range. They can't understand anything that reaches the level of Rinnegan. It's a waste of time to say it. Minato took a deep breath and said softly, you have told your secret, and I will tell mine too. That being said, Minato has nothing to say. Instead, he took out a pen and paper and drew something on the paper. At the beginning Gaiwu looked confused, but as he drew more and more, Gaiwu gradually understood. I almost forgot that you still have this ability. Minato and Kushina looked at Gaiwu curiously. This ability is rarely used by Minato, even Jiraiya is not very clear about it. How does Suwu know? Realizing that he had said something wrong, Gaiwu quickly changed his words, the Uzumaki family. Minato-san, you get the moon first. What do you mean? Kakashi asked in bewilderment. Minato and Kushina looked at each other and smiled. It's good to know some things, and don't need to know what you don't know. Gaiwu didn't mean to say it either. It doesn't make sense for Kakashi to know about it, it's enough for him to know. A deeper understanding will affect his practice. Seeing that none of the three said anything, Kakashi understood that those things were beyond his ability. Knowing clearly will only increase troubles in vain, it is better not to know anything. Minato's drawing and writing also stopped. It is enough for Gaiwu to see it, and there is no need to draw the rest. With a handful of hands, the piece of paper has been shredded to the point that it cannot be shredded anymore, it is even finer than dust. Absolutely no one can restore this piece of paper. The things drawn and written on the paper are all top secret patterns, more important than Sharingan's secrets. Sharingan belongs to the Uchiha clan. Even if people know about it, you must be able to get Sharingan from 130. The Uchiha clan is not a vegetarian, and the most important thing of their clan cannot be easily taken away by others. But what is recorded on paper is completely different. As long as the chakra is enough, you can use what is on the paper. It will be a devastating disaster for others if it falls into the hands of ninjas with evil intentions. Gaiwu stretched himself and went back to sleep. With Minato's ability, he is absolutely safe in Konoha, where he and Kushina are united. No matter how much Ren Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo dance, they dare not challenge Minato's ability. Even if there was only a 1 in a billion chance that Minato would activate that ability, they didn't dare to try it. Absolute destruction. The consequence of that ability is the absolute destruction of Konoha. Not a single life survived. These dead things including Konoha will also be completely destroyed. The only pity is that Minato's heart is too kind after all. In the original book, he didn't use that ability because he didn't want to cause Konoha's destruction, leading to both him and Kushina going west. Even in this situation, Gaiwu felt that it was impossible for him to use that ability. But the deterrence of that ability is too scary. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo dare not touch it no matter how daring they are. Knowing Minato's ability, I can sleep with peace of mind. The next day the family rushed to the snack bar. Others work from 9 to 5, but Minato's family works from 9 to 3. Halfway down the road, I saw those Anbu ninjas scurrying on the roof. A flash of light flashed in Gaiwu's mind, and he slapped his forehead hard. One thing has been thrown out of my mind again. If you don't make him a plate of special snacks, he will be in a hurry. Being bullied by Gaiwu last night, Kakashi quickly seized the opportunity. You should fix your brain. Gaiwu raised his eyebrows, stared at Kakashi, and rubbed his head. Are you itchy? Kakashi said without showing any weakness. Come on. My new ability has been researched, you can't beat me. Gaiwu immediately became happy, and he rubbed his fists harder. Hey. It's amazing, dare to pretend in front of me. I'll let you know what it means, don't pretend to be thundered. Before he finished speaking, Gaiwu felt a big hand on his head. There is also a big hand pressing on the head of Kakashi next to him. I don't mind if the two brothers are noisy. But Kushina squatted down and looked at the two with a smile. You can't ignore the existence of me as a parent. Beating your son or something is the happiest thing in the world. Oh ho 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 ho. Kushina laughed wildly. In Gaiwu's eyes, it was a fat body full of malice swaying wildly. Kushina, she has completely substituted herself into the state of a parent. Bullying children is her favorite. Especially spanking my son. That was definitely the thing she yearned for the most in life. Wilted. Kakashi and Gaiwu withered at the same time. Face such a Kushina. In order not to bump into Kushina's muzzle and be bullied by her in various ways, it is best to be honest and toss less. Maybe she would find an opportunity to give her a good beating, and there was nowhere to find someone to reason with. The only one who can control Kushina is Namikaze Minato. But Goose, in the matter of beating his son, he is definitely 10,000. If he were to persuade Kushina, he would definitely do the opposite. When he arrived at the store, Gaiwu didn't care about the long queue outside. After thinking about it for a while, a snack specially made for Itachi has already formed in his mind. It's easier to think about it. Half an hour later, Japan's special snack for Uchiha Itachi is ready. Go outside and hand the special snack to Kakashi. Special snack. You know who only can enjoy it. Kakashi took the special snack with both hands, and said softly, understood. Just wearing the clothes of the waiter in the small shop, ran out of the small shop. Soon arrived at the Uchiha station. Seeing Kakashi walking in dressed as a waiter, the garrison staff of the Uchiha clan flashed disdain in their eyes. He yelled softly, "Who are you looking for?" Kakashi's expression sank, and he naturally heard the disdain of the guards in his mind. Shen Sheng said, "I have a special snack made by the shop owner for Uchiha Itachi, and it can only be handed over to him." Kakashi has been carefully holding the snack specially made by Gaiwu in his hand. Although I can't understand what Gaiwu said to Uchiha Itachi, I don't understand the meaning of special snacks. But he knows that this is Gaiwu and Uchiha Itachi's unique way of communicating, and only the two of them can understand the meaning. It's impossible for anyone else to know. Special snacks for Itachi. A look of doubt flashed in the eyes of the guards. The current Itachi is very different from before. In the previous family sparring, a member of the same family was seriously injured because of a slightly heavier shot. No one blamed him for hitting too hard. The Uchiha family is a family that advocates strength, especially the power from the eyes. The skill is not as good as the person who was seriously injured, there is nothing to say. It was Uchiha Itachi's status in the clan, which was improved because of that incident. When it comes to things related to Uchiha Itachi, he doesn't dare to act rashly, and even his tone to Kakashi is much better. Wait here, I'll tell Itachi. Hee. Kakashi sneered twice, these people are so social. When it comes to people with stronger eyesight than him, they become submissive. If he didn't want to hide his strength, Mangekyo Sharingan could scare him to death if he used it. Unaware that his own Mangekyo appeared in front of Uchiha Itachi. How would he feel? What kind of expression will it be? Unbelievably looking forward to it. Without keeping Kakashi waiting, Uchiha Itachi ran out excitedly. Seeing that it was Kakashi who delivered the meal to himself, he quickly bowed and saluted, "Kakashi-san. Thank you for bringing Gaiwu-jun's special snacks to me." The expressions of the guards following Itachi immediately changed. Uchiha Itachi was first and foremost the son of the patriarch of the Uchiha clan. Secondly, the ability of his eyes is very powerful, far beyond what his one Tomo Sharingan can match. If Kakashi is careful and tells Uchiha Itachi how much he disdains him, I will feel bad. Kakashi-san, please, I have something I want you to bring to Gaiwu-kun. Uchiha Itachi bowed slightly and invited Kakashi to the house for a chat. Although usually noisy, Kakashi is still very concerned about Gaiwu and Uchiha Itachi. Without any excuses, he followed Itachi and walked inside. The guards at the gate looked at Kakashi with pleading eyes, and bowed to 90 degrees. Kakashi just glanced at it and didn't take it seriously. Comparing with such a person, I lost my identity for nothing. Anyway, we are also the family of the former 4th Hokage, an elite ninja, and a particularly strong big brother. There is no need to argue with these people. Entering Itachi's small courtyard, he carefully opened the special snack that Gaiwu gave him. The same pancake-shaped snacks are made in black, red and green. Red only accounts for 20% of the pie, black 50% of the pie, and green 30% of the pie. Seeing this, Itachi not only wryly smiled but was born. With the current situation, he has been able to understand the meanings of red, black and green. The situation is now very clear. Uchiha Itachi is completely on Uchiha's side. Black represents those Uchiha people who will not support him. Red represents those who will support other tribes. Black represents the Uchiha people who are sure not to be on his side. Green represents the 30% Uchiha people who are in the middle and cannot be determined yet. Uchiha Itachi picked up some black flatbread with chopsticks. As soon as I put it in my mouth, I was choked by the taste. Mustard, chili, curry, all these things mixed together make an absolute spicy taste. This is the smell that I hate so much that I can't hate it anymore. After thinking about it carefully, Uchiha Itachi understood the meaning. I hate this smell, and conversely, even the 50% Uchiha people represented by this part also hate me very much. It means that I should not have any thoughts about the 50% Uchiha people. But the question is how to distinguish the 50% Uchiha people. Kakashi sat quietly, waiting for Uchiha Itachi to finish his special snack. If he wants to bring Gaiwu himself, it will be very important. Although I don't understand it, that sentence must be very meaningful to Gaiwu. Pick out the black part and throw it aside, including the pair of chopsticks. Itachi was about to find chopsticks, but found another pair of chopsticks in the box. Seeing this, Itachi frowned tightly. Gaiwu will never do meaningless things, every detail of the special snacks is very important. I threw away the pair of chopsticks that I chose black. It is because it is already covered with the spicy taste of the black flatbread, and if you use it to taste other snacks, the original taste will definitely be destroyed. So you have to change a pair of chopsticks. In terms of the status quo of the Uchiha family, it means. This time, Uchiha Itachi thought for a long time. After a full half an hour, he raised his head and looked at the sky with a difficult look in his eyes. Are you trying to tell me that there must be sacrifices? At the same time, Gaiwu in the snack bar seemed to sense something. Muttering softly, a small amount is not a gentleman, not poisonous and not a husband. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo haven't done anything to the Uchiha clan though. But that's just a matter of time, while there's still time, to separate the Uchiha people. If you can be obedient, you will recruit them. If you can't be obedient, you can only send them to the guns of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo. If you want to separate these people, there must be someone in the middle of them. And this person must be someone close to you. Chopsticks. It's something you can't live without. Uchiha Itachi is smart. He is very smart. After contemplating for so long just now, he already understood the meaning of chopsticks. I also understood the meaning of the pair of chopsticks that were thrown away. I also thought about who in the entire Uchiha clan could be in the position of those chopsticks. Yeah, how can you open your mouth about something like this? Although he will definitely do what he wants, but he is destined to be sacrificed. Uchiha Itachi fell silent again. No matter how he thinks, there is only one person who can think of using chopsticks to pick out all black. Only his authority and ability can be in the position of chopsticks. The more he thought about it, the more pain in Uchiha Itachi's eyes grew. Kakashi couldn't understand the meaning of this snack at all. Uchiha Itachi became such a pain after just tasting it and thinking about it for so long. It felt like he had lost a dear one. Itachi, are you okay? Kakashi asked softly. Hiss. Itachi took a deep breath, looked at Kakashi and said softly. Kakashi-san, please bring a message to Gaiwu-kun, I can't make this decision. Kakashi nodded, knowing that there was no point in staying here, he got up and left. Not long after he left, Uchiha Fugaku came over. Seeing Itachi's painful expression, he walked to his side and picked up the pair of chopsticks Itachi had thrown away. Pick up some black snacks that Itachi picked out. Put it in your mouth and taste it for a while, then smiled and said, very good snack. It was specially made by Yeba Gaiwu for you. Very good snacks. You don't like spicy food, I'll take these away. Uchiha Fugaku picked up the part of the black pancake that Itachi had picked out. Nothing was mentioned about Uchiha throughout. But Itachi knew very well. Uchiha Fugaku helped him make decisions that he couldn't make himself. Originally, he was the most suitable pair of chopsticks destined to be sacrificed. Now he took on that himself. The rest is up to Uchiha Itachi to figure it out. Black will be selected by Uchiha Fugaku. How to choose the red one is his own business. How to win over the green ones is also Uchiha Itachi's business. A tear rolled down the corner of his eye. The whole time Uchiha Itachi didn't say a word. Silently watching Uchiha Fugaku pick up the pair of chopsticks and leave with the black snack. In fact, he doesn't like spicy food either. In order to fulfill himself, he is willing to do that thing. This is Uchiha Fugaku. No matter what time is a person who is willing to sacrifice himself. I am also willing to use everything to fulfill Uchiha Itachi. No matter what he wants to do, we'll go down that path. Uchiha Fugaku's support for Itachi is boundless. Tears are pouring down. From birth to now, Uchiha Itachi has never been so sad. Uchiha Fugaku took the road of self-sacrifice, all because of himself, all to fulfill his own ideas. Bowing down, Uchiha Itachi said heavily, "Thank you very much." Uchiha Fugaku, who had left Uchiha Itachi's courtyard, seemed to sense something. The footsteps paused for a while, but did not stop. "Go back to your room with those black snacks. Itachi, you have always been a very smart kid, and I will support you in whatever you do. Go ahead and do it. You are my best child and the best member of the Uchiha clan." Kakashi returned to the small shop and conveyed Uchiha Itachi's words to Gaiwu. Gaiwu just smiled and was relieved. It doesn't matter if he makes such a decision or not, someone will help him make it. Just like in the original book, the person who encouraged him to kill himself. He will definitely stand up to help Itachi and do everything he can't do. Maybe we can meet that person today. A person who is willing to sacrifice himself even though he has a Mangekyo Sharingan. His greatness is no less than that of Namikaze Minato. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all the customers in the shop had left. Minato and Kushina are also preparing to pack up and go home. However, Gaiwu was still busy in the kitchen. After finishing things, cover them with a plate and put them on the table to wait quietly. "There are still guests coming?" Minato asked with some doubts. "Probably," Gaiwu said softly. Whether Uchiha Fugaku will come, he is not very sure, but there is always a feeling that he will definitely come to his small shop. Because he is Uchiha Itachi's father. Around 4 o'clock, when Gaiwu was about to close the door, a man walked in. Seeing the covered plate on the table, Uchiha Fugaku understood immediately. "Sorry, I'm late." Gaiwu shook his head and said softly, "It's not too late. No matter what time you come, this special snack will be waiting for you." Uchiha Fugaku stared at Gaiwu. "I heard about him a long time ago, but I have never come to his snack bar to taste the food. If it weren't for the fact that Itachi's behavior was a little strange, his personality would have changed a bit. Maybe he will never pay attention to Gaiwu's small shop. There are too many things for the Uchiha clan, and as the patriarch, he doesn't have much free time to allocate. Now come to the store and look at Gaiwu, his eyes are full of wisdom. Even my own eyes can't see into his heart. His IQ is high. Although he is only 5 years old, his experience is definitely not worse than that of an adult. He has his own way of understanding things, and no one can influence his thoughts. He is the most amazing boy I have ever seen in my life." "Thank you very much," Uchiha Fugaku said softly. Then he turned to Namikaze Minato. "I'm sorry. There are too many things in the clan, and I wasted your time." Minato shrugged, showing that he didn't care at all. With a right hand, Gaiwu took the plate of snacks covered by the plate. He also wanted to know what kind of snacks Gaiwu specially prepared for Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku took a deep breath, walked over to the table, and lifted the lid. Crystal clear white, not a trace of variegated white. Uchiha Fugaku froze for a moment, thinking about what Itachi got. A look of joy appeared on his face. He turned to look at Gaiwu, and bowed respectfully, reaching 90 degrees. "Thank you very much. I am very satisfied with this snack you made. I've delayed your rest time. I'm very sorry, I won't enjoy this snack in the shop." Gaiwu stood up and said softly, "Please go ahead." Uchiha Fugaku picked up the plate of snacks seriously and walked out. "It's not even paid," Kakashi muttered under his breath. Gaiwu looked outside the door and said meaningfully, "Some things cannot be replaced by money. It's not something money can buy. Pay a few free snacks now, and what I will get in the future will be so rich, I can't even imagine it now." Boom. Kushina followed and punched Kakashi on the head. "Kakashi, you've been really skinny lately, it looks like I have to relax for you." Kakashi quickly dodges away. That is definitely the fastest speed in his life, and it is impossible to have such a speed again in the future. "Ha ha ha, it's almost as fast as mine." Minato laughed. Suddenly, he felt an unkind gaze falling on him. "You mean, the shadow I left in Kakashi's heart is the scariest thing he has ever seen in his life?" Gaiwu whispered in his heart, "Kushina-san, you are very self-aware." He absolutely didn't dare to say such words, and walked out of the store cautiously. At this time, you must not be found by Kushina. She is addicted to beating her son, and she will never show mercy. Tiptoe, in his own shop, as if like a thief. After a lot of hard work, he finally escaped out of Kushina's sight. Minato scratched the back of his head in embarrassment. How can I accept your words? This was originally what I said, but now you are saying it. Do I still have to face? Although he thought so in his heart, Minato didn't dare to make any changes. Kushina at this time must be very dangerous. If one is not careful, both himself and Naruto will suffer. Manly man, able to bend and stretch, what's wrong with surrendering? Minato looked at Kushina very seriously, and said every word seriously. I definitely didn't mean that. I don't know. Kushina understood his thoughts at a glance, whispered. Even if you meant that, you wouldn't say it. Look at the fight. Gaiwu from a distance saw the store shaking from time to time, and pots and pans flew out from time to time. He patted his chest secretly, and said with the aftermath of the catastrophe, it's so dangerous. I almost became the target of their husband and wife's fire. There is no reason for parents to beat their children. As long as you are happy. What's the point of having a child if they can't play with them after they're born? Kakashi didn't know where he went, but Gaiwu knew that he would definitely go home before dinner. It is very likely that they went to various places in Konoha to scold those old hens. In the evening, it is estimated that there will be another sumptuous dinner waiting for me to cook. ... Oh, I'm just a hard worker. Shaking his head and sighing, he walked slowly towards home. Nearly halfway, a group of ninjas blocked the way. One of them walked over with a cane and half of his face covered with a bandage. Yeba Gaiwu. Although he knew that the person in front of him was Konoha's notorious Shimura Danzo, but Gaiwu saw him for the first time after all. Calling him by his name is definitely not an option. Who are you? What can I do for you? Danzo stopped on the spot and said in a deep voice, you have very good ninja talent. Once you practice seriously, how powerful you will be in the future is completely unpredictable. Wong Li's I can provide you with very rich cultivation resources. As long as you join the root organization, I will give you anything you need. Gaiwu put his hands behind his head and said indifferently, if you want to become a ninja, I think Namikaze Minato is a good ninja. Having his personal teaching knowledge, I think it covers all ninja disciplines. Learn from him and it's over, don't bother you. But the problem is I don't want to be Ninja County. Gaiwu had already confirmed in his heart that Danzo didn't dare to be tough on himself, so he was not so polite when speaking. There are hundreds of millions of beasts trampling back and forth in Danzo's heart. To this day, Gaiwu still says he doesn't want to be a ninja. If he doesn't want to be a ninja, where does he get his strength? Did the ability to save Minato and Kakashi at the last minute fall from the sky? How could one have such abilities without practicing? It seems that some means must be used. Gaiwu's ability is not investigated clearly. I can't eat well, and I can't sleep well. Don't toast and eat fine wine. There is no one I can't invite who I personally invite. Danzo said in a deep voice. Ha! Gaiwu snorted coldly, raised his right hand and hooked his fingers towards Danzo. The contempt is self-evident. How could Danzo stand being belittled by a 5-year-old? With a concentrated expression, the ninjas beside him rushed towards Gaiwu together. Danzo said in a deep voice, I know more about Namikaze Minato than you do. Although he has that ability in his hand, because of his personality, it is absolutely impossible to use that thing. He can threaten Sarutobi Hiruzen with that, but not me. Really. Just as he finished speaking, a voice sounded beside Gaiwu. Those rude ninjas who rushed to Gaiwu's side were kicked out by him with a few simple moves. Namikaze Minato stared at Danzo on the opposite side, and said softly, Master Danzo. What is my character? I have the right to speak. Your understanding of me is only superficial, let's forget about this time. If you dare to do anything to my family in the future, it will definitely not be such a simple punishment. Punish. These two words made Danzo's eyebrows twitch. Noticing something, he quickly looked at the ninjas sent out to attack Gaiwu. There is a sealing technique spreading on them. In just a few seconds, the sealing operation was completed. Hiss. Danzo gasped. Staring at Minato in disbelief, he said, how dare you use that thing? Don't challenge my bottom line. Minato said coldly, leading Gaiwu towards home. All the way, you can enjoy yourself, and you can be as comfortable as you want. Don't take Danzo seriously at all. In the base, Danzo looked at the 4 ninjas lying in front of him. All Jonin. A master trained through a series of very difficult procedures. But I didn't expect that Minato would cancel it after a face-to-face meeting. Forever obsolete. Aburame took his root and looked at the 4 ninjas on the ground. Although they still had breath, they couldn't move at all. Looking at Danzo with a puzzled face, Master Danzo. What's wrong with them? Danzo said slowly. The sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan. All the sealing techniques of Konoha originated from the Uzumaki family. Only Konoha in the 5 ninja villages has the ability to absolutely seal the tailed beast. That's because our sealing technique is based on the sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan. In the history of ninjas, there is no clan that is famous for its sealing techniques, and no one can compete with the Uzumaki clan in terms of sealing techniques. Aburame stared blankly at the 4 ninjas on the ground. They cannot be awakened by any means. Although they are not dead yet, they are more uncomfortable than dead. Give them a good time, Danzo said in a deep voice, leaning on crutches and walking towards the Hokage building. Aburame slowly raised his hands to take root. In an organization like Root, he had already lost his feelings. Killing 4 Jonin, who would only drag down the entire Root organization, has no psychological burden on him. Hokage House. Seeing Danzo walking in, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt that what he brought would not be good news. With a wave of his right hand, all the ninjas in the office retreated. Danzo looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen and said in a deep voice, Hiruzen. I've tried it. Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression was fixed. Based on his understanding of Danzo, his expression was so heavy. Obviously, the test results were not what I wanted. Hey, he sighed, and turned to look out the window. Unexpected, he really did it. Flying Thunder God plus the sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan. If Minato is driven to a dead end, everyone in Konoha will be buried with us. Danzo said in a deep voice. Konoha is good at sealing only Namikaze Minato and you, do you have a way to solve that? Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head and sighed. Namikaze Minato is the most talented ninja I've ever seen. Whether it is space-time ninjutsu or sealing art, he has his own unique way of understanding, and he can learn it easily. Compared with him, I don't know how far behind him. The sealing technique he set, I have no way to break it. Understood, Danzo whispered, turned and left the Hokage building. Uchiha Station. Sasuke in Itachi's arms, holding a bottle in his right hand to feed him. Sasuke, please be good, after drinking this cup, go to bed, okay? Father and mother both have very important matters, only big brother can take care of you. But Goose, Sasuke didn't buy it at all, and burst into tears after taking a few sips of milk. Itachi is very patient with his younger brother, carefully coaxing him to sleep and tricking him into drinking milk. Fugaku, who came back from the outside, saw this scene, and said very relieved, Itachi. You will be a very good big brother in the future. Father. Itachi quickly looked at Fugaku and saw that he was holding a plate of snacks in his hand. With a trembling expression, he stared blankly at Fugaku. Did he also go to Gaiwu's shop for special snacks? Although he wanted to know what answer Gaiwu gave him, Itachi knew that he should not know what he should not know. Fugaku went back to the study and opened the special snack. White, dazzling white. He picked up the chopsticks, took a piece and put it in his mouth. The taste is delicious and is Uchiha Fugaku's favorite international taste. After tasting, Fugaku pondered deeply. The one for Itachi is black, something he hates. It was white for me, something I like. It's actually saying the same thing. The results of the same event vary from person to person. Itachi hates that. For me, it should be something I like so that Itachi can carry out his plan. Yeba Gaiwu, you are so young, how do you see these things so thoroughly? All of my thoughts as a father have been included, and there is no omission, which perfectly fits my heart. Since that's the case, then I will accept your beauty. What kind of path Uchiha will take in the end, it's up to them to decide for themselves. As the guide of Uchiha, Yeba Gaiwu-san, Itachi and Sasuke, please. He seems to be talking to himself, and he seems to be talking to someone. No one knows why Uchiha Fugaku said that. After eating the special snack made by Gaiwu, Fugaku started his next task. Distinguish which of the Uchiha clan are hard black factions. As long as these people are separated, the rest, no matter how many there are, will let Itachi brainwash them. In the end, How many people can follow Uchiha Itachi depends on God's will. The fact that Uchiha convened a clan meeting did not only disturb the Uchiha clan. Konoha's senior executives were also in a state of tension. The conflict between Uchiha and Konoha has accumulated over time and has reached the point of irreconcilability. It's just that there is still a lack of a reason to completely explode this contradiction. Inside the Hokage building, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Itachi wearing the Anbu mask in front of him. Itachi, you and Shisui are good friends, you know his will very well, I want you to be the middleman between Konoha and Uchiha. Under the mask, Uchiha Itachi didn't change any expression. Spy, ha ha, if I hadn't experienced some things, I would have inherited Shisui's will. Now, want me to be a spy between Konoha and Uchiha. I happen to be using your attitude towards me to do my own thing. I'll do my best to investigate, Uchiha Itachi said solemnly. Since you trust me, you need me to help you investigate the Uchiha tribe. I also need time to organize those who can be with me. There is no need to investigate the matter of the clan association, and the core content is very clear in the heart. Fugaku wants to screen out those who can't be with him, and what he does will naturally not be a good thing. The stuff the tribe will tell about isn't anything good. Just make up a little bit, and perfunctory Sarutobi Hiruzen with a decent content. Borrowing his trust can do a lot for Uchiha himself. Gather those who can be obedient. The Uchiha clan must continue. Never become a victim of Konoha's struggle. Back off, Sarutobi Hiruzen said softly. Hi, Itachi walked away. We returned home slowly with Minato, and it was as expected. Kakashi came back from some old hens who didn't know where, and was sitting on the roof, tearing the feathers of those old hens in a very boring way. Seeing the old hen struggling and screaming under his clutches, Gaiwu was speechless. If you don't have the talent to enter the kitchen, please don't mess around. It's not like you to kill chickens. Kakashi threw the old hen that came along to Gaiwu without hesitation. Sitting on the roof, looking at the sky and thinking about life. Gaiwu was amused by his stinking appearance. Kakashi, why do I feel like you've changed since the day you opened Mangekyo? Kakashi didn't even look at Gaiwu, his eyes seemed to be out of focus. I'm just going back to the original state. You taught me, Ni-chan. Gaiwu was completely speechless for a moment, the words sounded very familiar. I seem to have heard it somewhere, but I can't remember where I heard it. But, this kind of Kakashi also made Gaiwu completely relieved. He knew the reason why he opened Mangekyo. Originally Gaiwu thought he was going to be immersed in sadness for a while. But I didn't expect that he was not immersed in sadness, but became more serious. Maybe it's his unique way of hiding his inner sadness, let him go. As long as he looks happy and doesn't look sad, it's fine. An old hen quickly cleaned up, put it in the pot, and steamed the whole chicken at high temperature. Minato and Kushina sat on the sofa, watching TV boredly. Although the current life has completely calmed down, it is a little less exciting, which makes them a little uncomfortable. It will take a while to fully adjust. Ouch, Kushina, who was watching TV, suddenly exclaimed. Minato immediately became nervous and ran to Kushina. Kushina, what's wrong? Kushina stared at her swollen belly, and tried to hit her, but she couldn't. Naruto kicked me. Gaiwu, who poked his head out from the kitchen, retracted quietly. False alarm. Minato caressed Kushina's bulging belly, and whispered, Naruto, you have to be obedient, be obedient. Gaiwu in the kitchen habitually picked up cotton and stuffed it in his ears. Now is the sweet moment for the young couple, plug their ears if they don't want to eat dog food. Although the body is only 5 years old, the mind is an adult. Things like throwing dog food. Unless you are sprinkling dog food on others. It is a pity. My little girlfriend hasn't gone to kindergarten yet. It's too early to spread dog food to others. Being young is really frustrating, all kinds of uneasiness. Peaceful days always pass quickly. An unexpected visitor appeared in Konoha Cemetery today. He wears an orange swirl mask with only one eye exposed. Everything else is hidden under the mask. With empty hands, he stands beside a grave, gazing at the names on the tombstone. Be silent all the time. Crack, crack, the sound of footsteps interrupted his thinking, and he turned to look at the man. Seeing that it was a child holding flowers, I didn't take it to heart. The child went straight to the grave where he stood, and put flowers on it. Obito froze. This person has never been seen before. Why did he come to pay homage to Nohara Lin? But did not disturb his funeral. After Gaiwu paid his respects, he didn't even look at Obito next to him, and said softly, "Have you lost any family members?" Although he didn't look at himself, Obito knew that he was speaking to himself. The chakra is activated, and the Sharingan under the mask becomes a Mangekyo state. Gaiwu sensed Obito's movement, but there was no change, and continued, "I don't want to lose my family." After saying this, Gaiwu said nothing more, walk out of the cemetery slowly. Obito beside him was full of question marks. When I came to pay homage to Nohara Lin, I didn't know what happened, but I ran into such a strange child. He also said two such strange things. Lost a loved one. Obito certainly lost. Nohara Lin is his close relative. If it wasn't for seeing Rin Nohara die on Kakashi's Reikiri, how could his Sharingan evolve directly from Leongoyu to the Mangekyo realm? If it wasn't for treating Nohara Lin as a close relative, how could there be such a substantial evolution? As for Gaiwu's last sentence, who would want to lose family? Even if a family is stumbling, it is still a complete family. No family is complete without any of them. Anyone who belongs to this family will be missing a piece of their hearts. No one wants to lose family members. Thinking of something he was about to do soon, Obito suddenly understood. This kid is his own enemy. He doesn't want to lose his family, but he must destroy Konoha. So, the hostile position has been made clear. It is absolutely no accident that he appeared here. It is definitely not accidental to pay homage to Nohara Lin. He knew he was here. Looking at the back that was gradually walking away, Obito did not make a move after all. Who are you? You seem to know everything about me very well. I don't know anything about you. Looking at Nohara Lin's tombstone again, he muttered, "You know who I am, and you know my abilities. If someone doesn't know anything, it's impossible to just appear at this time. Knowing my abilities but appearing here without any scruples, do you have that much confidence in yourself?" Even after thinking of this, Obito has no intention of leaving. Even more will not give up the plan made a long time ago. As the day of Kushina's production draws nearer, planning must begin. Summoning the Nine Tails is imperative. No matter who appears in front of you, you must clean him up. Namikaze Minato, Hatake Kakashi, Sarutobi Hiruzen, etc., etc. These familiar names, no matter who appeared in front of him, would never let them go. Not to mention a toddler who has never seen one. Change. With a soft shout, Obito turned into a very ordinary boy in a puff of smoke. I haven't been to Konoha for a long time, and I used to go to some memorable places. Every time you look at Konoha, you erase your memory of it. From now on there will be no more Uchiha Obito in the world. There is only one Uchiha Madara. Be firm in your belief in rebuilding a whole new world. One without hatred. There is no war. Truly a world of eternal peace. The world justice that everyone dreams of but can't get. Snack bar door. The shop that used to open on time at 9 o'clock every day did not open today. Those around the door were waiting impatiently. It was almost 10 o'clock when Gaiwu arrived late. He came alone. Already 6 years old, he should have grown a lot taller. But, these customers come to the store every day, and no one has noticed that Gaiwu has grown 10 centimeters taller. During Konoha's 6 months, she ate well and slept soundly every day, and her body grew naturally. As the body grows, it means that the amount of chakra also increases. Facing the noisy guests, Gaiwu said softly, "Everyone, I'm very sorry, the store will be closed for a while. It will be reopened in a week at the earliest, and will be reopened in a month at the slowest time. At that time, new snacks will be served on the table. Stay tuned, everyone." The guests who were still somewhat emotional heard that there were new snacks on the table, but 477 didn't take it to heart. Although Gaiwu's cooking skills are very unique, but the dishes are the same every day, and if he eats too much, he will get tired. "Gaiwu little boss, will you expand the store by then?" That's right, that's right. With the addition of new dishes, the store should expand, otherwise we won't be able to eat enough. Boss Gaiwu, we are waiting for the day when you reopen the store, so don't let us down. Gaiwu didn't say anything more. Put the prepared notice on the door, leave the small shop and walk towards the Nara family residence. I have communicated with Nara Luju before, and I want them to help me buy seafood. Kushina's due date is just 2 days away. Minato doesn't have time for these things in the store. This trip of the Nara family can only be run by themselves. The new dishes are naturally related to seafood. Arriving at the residence of the Nara family, Nara Luju was about to go out when he saw Gaiwu coming. A look of apology appeared on his face. He raised his right hand and said softly, "Please come inside." In the hall, the host and guest are seated separately, Nara Luju said with a little embarrassment. More than 3 months ago, Minato helped me deliver seafood. I thought it was a very simple thing, but I didn't expect that the impact of the Third Ninja War was beyond my imagination. It was not confirmed with them until recently that a batch of seafood will be delivered in 5 days. Gaiwu shrugged. There is no other way. The battle between ninjas has too much impact on the lives of ordinary people. You can resume seafood transportation in such a short period of time, Lu Jubao. You have done your best. On behalf of Minato-san, thank you. Nara Luju hurriedly said. I'm really sorry for delaying your business. Gaiwu shook his head and said he didn't care. Minato-san will have a lot of things to deal with recently, and I will handle the handover of seafood. Nara Luju sighed. If my child, at your age, can have 1% of yours, I will be satisfied. The man who is not interested in anything immediately appeared in Gaiwu's mind. IQ is as high as more than 200, but he is not interested in anything. Talk about trouble all day long. He is no worse than himself at his age. Only, he has no energy for anything, and nothing can arouse his interest. In terms of handling things, it is far worse than myself. Takako will definitely be excellent. Gaiwu stood up and said softly. I accept your good words. Walking out of Nara Lujo's house, he ran into a difficulty not long after walking on the street. The boy looks about Kakashi's age. The moment their eyes met, they both stopped in their tracks. This boy was naturally transformed from Obito, and he looked at Nara's station behind Gaiwu. The image of Nara Luju sending him out just now is still in his mind. For such a child, Nara Lujo's respect is beyond the limit of the imagination of the troublemaker. Living in Konoha for so many years, I have never seen the head of the family so respectful to a child. Curiosity towards Gaiwu grew stronger, and he asked in a deep voice, "Who are you?" Gaiwu glanced at Obito. Although he has changed his appearance, but chakra will not change. You can miss, but don't destroy. I just don't want to interfere with some things. Once you do something that makes me angry, the consequences are not something you can afford. After finishing speaking, Gaiwu ignored Obito. Obito stared blankly at Gaiwu who was going away. The first meeting was a very peaceful conversation. The second time we met, he used a serious warning tone. This unknown boy seemed to know himself very well. Don't care about the abilities you have now. What exactly is going on? When did a boy like this appear in Konoha? It was only 2 very brief exchanges, but Obito felt it. Gaiwu has an aura of indifference to the world. He really doesn't want to interfere with what he wants to do. When encountering him for the first time at Konoha Cemetery, he would directly attack. Where did this magical boy come from? When I left Konoha, there was not such a magical boy. Walk around the leaves. Obito listened carefully to what those around him were saying. Unknowingly, I walked to the side of the Ichiraku ramen restaurant. There are a lot of guests inside, and naturally there are a lot of chatter. It's a pity. The little boss Gaiwu has to adjust for a few days, and if he can't eat his snacks, it will be very difficult these days. Immediately, he became displeased, and said with a smile, Hey. Is it really good to bring snacks from the store next door in my store? The diners were immediately happy and laughed. Ha ha ha, hit by hand. Don't deny it, if there is no little boss Gaiwu, your current business will definitely not be so good. You don't have to be jealous, your Calamus has such a good relationship with him, maybe in the future you can turn little boss Gaiwu into your family. That's right. Both were born in a chef's family and grew up together. They really are a match made in heaven. I think Calamus doesn't have to think about anything else, it's enough to choose the little boss Gaiwu. Hearing the laughter of these people, while clapping his hands happily, he also pretended to be angry. My Calamus is only 4 years old, and little boss Gaiwu is only 6 years old. Isn't it too early to say these things? You guys, you just pay attention to the little boss Gaiwu's affairs without solving your own affairs. Obito outside the door looks at the laughing diners and owners of the Ichiraku ramen restaurant. Memories are used a little bit. I and Nohara-Lin are also partners who grew up together. I regard her as my closest relative, so why is she not the same? The relationship between Gaiwu and Ikoris and the relationship between himself and Nohara-Lin is so imaginable. As for who Gaiwu is, I don't have to think about it anymore. That magical boy whom I have met twice must be the main character in everyone's laughter. Gaiwu little boss. The age of 6 befits his body. Being praised like this, but did not hear any malice in it. When meeting with these 2 times, he knew what he was going to do, but he only talked peacefully and warned. There is a sense of inaction in his character. He doesn't want to take care of anything except his family, and he doesn't want to interfere with anything. Such a character is the easiest to be liked by everyone. No one will be hostile to him. Just like myself. Even though Gaiwu has indicated the hostile relationship between the two. But Obito can't bear any hatred for him. Because he only fights for his family, not for anything else. This is who I used to be. It was the most appreciated and favorite way of guarding. Facing a boy similar to himself, Xiaohui who has the same will. Even though he is on the opposite side because of his position, Obito just can't bear any hatred for Gaiwu. You have aroused my curiosity. Obito muttered softly, with the urge to investigate all of Gaiwu's experiences. But he didn't do that after all. Although there was an accident with Gaiwu, it did not change the fact that Nohara-Lin had died. When one's closest relative dies, one must recreate a world with her. Anything else can come after this goal. If the same thing happened to Gaiwu, with how much he loves his family, he should also go on the same path as himself. Minato home. Kushina, who has a big belly, is already inconvenient to walk around. Minato is by his side 24/7, and Sarutobi Hiruzen's wife, Sanahi Bawako, is by Masahinshin's side. No matter what kind of person Sarutobi Hiruzen is. On the matter of Nine Tails Jinchuriki, he and Namikaze Minato have the same idea. One is to protect Kushina and prevent Nine Tails from messing with. The other just wants to protect Kushina, he doesn't particularly care about Nine Tails. Although the ultimate purpose is different, the things to be done are exactly the same. It's all about protecting Kushina. Sarutobi Bawako is a person who has given birth to 2 children. He is very experienced in giving birth and always pays attention to Kushina's physical condition. After a man's evasive inspection, she walked into the hall. Looking at the current situation, Kushina's delivery should be 4 days later. 4 more days. Minato looked at Lake Biwa nervously. Being a father for the first time, he was more nervous than Kushina, staying by Kushina's side every day, paying close attention to all her changes. Although as a man, I can't understand it at all, and I don't understand the significance of those changes. But, if he doesn't stay with Kushina, his heart is even more unsteady, and he doesn't know what to do at all. Bawako was annoyed by Minato's bewildered look and said in a low voice. Don't be so nervous, it's just a baby, it's a very simple thing. With Kushina's physical condition, your child will be born within half an hour at most. I don't know. Minato stared at Lake Biwa with wide eyes. Will it take half an hour? Will this process Kushina be painful? I heard that the process of giving birth is very painful. Can Kushina bear it? Can Kushina be put into a coma so that she doesn't suffer from that pain? Although she is not very afraid of pain, but that kind of pain, I heard. Shut up, Lake Biwa shouted softly. You are the 4th Hokage, what are you thinking about rambling? Minato trembled from her light drink. He was going to be a father in 4 days, and knowing the exact time, his heart became even more nervous. Especially when I heard that Kushina had to stay in the delivery room for half an hour to give birth to Naruto, I was even more nervous. Mouth opened and closed. Although he didn't make a sound, anyone who wasn't blind could tell that Namikaze Minato was still chattering. Bawako sighed, and didn't say anything more to Minato. She is a woman, and a mother with 2 grown children. She doesn't understand and can't understand a man becoming a father for the first time. She had never seen such a situation with Namikaze Minato, so she could only let him go. Kakashi on the roof is fully alert to everything around the house. Overtly and secretly, he also sensed the existence of many ninjas. He also couldn't understand the teacher's situation. He only knew that there would be one more person in the family in 4 days. A younger brother who is younger than himself and can be bullied at will. Usually bullied by Gaiwu, bullied by Kushina and Minato, now it's finally his turn to bully others. It's nice to have a little brother. Having a little brother who can bully at will is the most wonderful thing in the world. 4 days. In 4 days, that little brother will be born, and he can finally bully anyone casually. I feel very happy just thinking about it. Time. You hurry up. That little brother who can be bullied by me casually, you should be born soon. Big brother can't wait to bully you. Good Kaizen. So excited. Kakashi. Gaiwu's voice came from below. In the kitchen, Kakashi whispered. The dialogue between the two is as simple as that. Gaiwu is very satisfied with the current Kakashi. He will take the initiative to go out and push an old hen back without saying anything. Now Kushina really needs to replenish her body. Old hen soup. Rib soup. Black chicken soup. A variety of dishes that are great for pregnant women are the staple food of Kushina these months. Eating these things every day directly caused Kushina to gain a lot of weight. It is estimated that after giving birth, she will go through confinement again, and her weight will increase by at least 30 kilograms. And then there's the crazy weight loss plan. Gaiwu went to the kitchen and slaughtered that old hen very skillfully. 3 times, 5 times and 2 times are cleaned up, and as soon as they are put into the pot, a whole chicken will enter the stewing state. Lake Biwa, who had just walked out of Kushina's room, watched Gaiwu doing things that adults could do in the kitchen so easily. From the initial surprise to the present, I can no longer feel anything. Gaiwu is already too proficient in doing these things, and there is no redundant movement at all. Even more skilled than those famous chefs. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't look like a 6-year-old boy should look like. He nodded and sat on the sofa. As for Minato, who was sitting beside him, she didn't even bother to take a look. That rascal, eyes never leave Kushina's door. No matter when Kushina was resting or walking around, his eyes never left Zentai. Lake Biwa seriously suspects that the current Minato's IQ has become negative. It's useless to tell him, his tension has never relaxed a little bit. Boiled a bowl of thick soup and served it to Lake Biwa, and asked her to serve it to Kushina. Gaiwu sat next to Minato. Sensing someone sitting next to him, Minato started rambling again. Gaiwu, do you think Kushina will pass out from the pain when she gives birth? Should I put Kushina into a coma first? I feel that Kushina is working so hard. How can I help her? What can I do to help her? Gaiwu quietly moved away a little bit. These questions are the most asked by Minato these days. Bawako has explained to him many times, but nothing can change his situation. Now Minato, whenever he is alone, he asks those questions. Gaiwu has been asked many times by him. Take a can of drink from the refrigerator. He glanced at the roof, estimated where Kakashi was, and silently raised a middle finger. That guy just couldn't stand Minato's nagging, so he ran to the roof to be on guard. Gaiwu had no choice but to hide even if he wanted to. As for hiding in the store, Gaiwu never thought about it. Kushina is going to give birth soon, so she has lived in this home for 6 months. Minato and Kushina never considered themselves outsiders either. How can you leave this family at such an important time? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.